Agreed. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
How you living? What? How you living? What? How you living?
In living color.
Welcome to our 200th episode. It's me, Nicole.
And Tessa.
And Kim is here as our live studio audience.
Yes, and I'm just so excited. I wrote a song about it. I'd like to hear it. Here it go. It's the Doom Generation Podcast. 200 episodes of these girls acting a fool. Thank you very much.
Yes. We are talking about In Living Color. And before we get into it, we want to welcome you to our 200th episode. And we want to thank everybody for listening. Yes. If you've been listening since the beginning, 200
Good
times is a lot of times to listen to this shit. We never expected to still be doing this, I don't think, almost 4 years later.
Almost now, yeah. Putting in that work.
As long as you guys keep laughing, we'll keep talking. Get over. Oh, we got new koozies and new stickers of our logo. Mm-hmm. The new neon green and pink one. If you guys want those, you can join our Patreon at the $4 or above level. Patreon.com/Doom Generation, or DM me. Depending how much I like you, there's a sliding scale on the cost.
There's a sliding scale to the sliding that one can do.
Yeah, he's sliding those DMs and I'll tell you what your price is.
For you, $400.
Right? And we'll give you the, the Homeboy Shopping Network prices. So this was a big one for us. So yes. I was 10 years old when this came out. So 5th grade, probably.
Yeah.
This was Sunday nights, so fucking Monday morning.
Well, first
it
was on Saturday nights, I feel like, and then Sunday nights it moved to, and then towards the end they moved it to Thursdays.
Oh, okay. But either way, it was fresh in your mind when you got to the playground. And it was time to redo all of your favorite
single sketch
lines
that you could come up with.
And it didn't matter if it was offensive because that was what the fucking 80s and 90s were. So you just
80s and 90s
did it.
Were offensive.
I was at school doing Wanda. All right to go.
I was at school doing handyman.
Girl, on the good foot. Oh, I have notes. So the way we've structured this, so I really did. I'm not going to say I watched all 5 seasons. I watched all 4 seasons and then I skimmed quickly through season 5.
I did not prioritize.
And we'll talk about why when we get there. But we're not going to go. I literally have notes on every single episode of In Living Color.
Just about.
But we've kind of tried to categorize them in our own ways. I'm going to post pictures of Tessa's notes because they are impressive.
It looks like the fucking 7 notebook.
It's impressive. Mine is boring. She got color coding and sticky notes and all kinds of shit happening. Mine was just like
annotations.
Mine was like a full spiral notebook of just episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, like writing anything that stood out to me that was like a thing from that I really remember from school. And we want to say right off the bat, if we miss something, that's because you cannot find the complete episodes, even if you buy the DVD. There are things redacted from the DVD that we went and separately tried to look up some things that we remembered.
Right.
And I believe I have notes along the way about which specific ones
were
of
left
those.
out.
Yeah.
Well, there was that one that only aired that one time. You could find it on YouTube, the Bolt 45.
Oh, and to remind me, what was that one about?
It was Keenen Ivory Wayans, I believe, as Billy D. Williams doing a Colt 45 commercial. Yes, I remember this. It involved like date rape.
Oh, yet they leave the Rick James misery too.
Yes, a mirroring of like that real life incident.
Yeah,
after he had dated Linda Blair.
Yeah,
but when he was still dating cocaine.
Yes, I got all those too. So this show started in 1990, ended in 1994, 5 seasons, 4 of which included the Wayans.
Right, 127 episodes total.
Is that all it was?
I know.
Like, not that it was a slog to get through,
but like 127 episodes.
If you're like us here at Doom Generation, you're a procrastinator.
Yes.
Which means that when you first had this idea 6 months or more ago, you got right on it, got a season in and went, I'll finish that later.
Yeah.
And then a week before this episode went, fuck, I got to watch seasons 2 through 5. And some of them have like 33 fucking episodes in them.
The first season, it was like a tease.
13.
It was like, 13 episodes, tight.
Perfect.
And then you can kind of like, you could skip through a couple of the musical guests.
Right.
You could skip through a couple of like dancing things, like the interludes. You could skip through a couple of those. It made it a little shorter, but no. And then like the third season, there was like 33 episodes.
But luckily, when we got to the end, a bunch of them were like best of.
Exactly. And
so
the
you could
fourth, I
skip
think
them.
it was, or was it the fourth or the third?
Both the third and the fourth, I think they did
had
that
to-
with the best of.
Well, that was part of the problem.
Right. So I know you've got notes from the Wayans wiki. I've got notes from that and from Wikipedia. So I have just kind of a setup of after I'm going to get you sucka, Foxx approached Keenen, like, we want you to do a show. And his idea was a SNL type show, but with people of color.
Right.
Where there's not just one token black dude that's in the cast like SNL. So then I have because as we're watching, I didn't look any of this up in advance.
Right.
So I'm texting you like, why is Keenen not in the show anymore? Well, Keenen was not in the show anymore because they were censoring content. They were rerunning episodes without asking him.
They were trying to put it into syndication, and it was like fucking with their money, and they just weren't happy with the direction that it was going. And then eventually, instead of being kind of a show for everybody, it was a show for like nobody no more.
Right. So he he resigned, I believe, at the end of the fourth season. But like in the fourth, he only showed up.
He showed up looking like Shaft. And
episode
dipped.
1 and dipped.
He did the intros.
Closers. He didn't do the intros after that. He
Nope.
wasn't in any sketches. Even when Damon came back to guest, Keenen didn't even show up for those.
And they paid Damon handsomely, apparently, to come back.
Well, his characters are some of my favorite.
The spot that I had written, it's like too full. That were all Damon Wayans characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of these came from them growing up together.
People
Apparently,
they knew. And
they lived in kind of a small apartment, but I guess it had seven rooms, which is a big apartment.
Wow.
But there was 10 of them.
yeah.
10
so
kids.
you're still doubled up, at least some of you.
Right. So
That's so many.
I know. And I don't think Keenan's the eldest. I think he might be the second
really?
eldest. I think there's one more.
I always just assumed he was the eldest just because he ran the show.
I feel like there was one more ahead of him.
Older, but
okay.
he's not involved.
Yeah, he's not involved. And Keenen had done like stand up. He was trying to do all that, but he also went to college like for engineering.
Oh, really?
And had to go home and tell his parents like, I'm gonna pursue comedy instead.
Interesting.
But
Dwayne Wayans.
Yeah, Dwayne Wayans.
Dwayne Wayans is the
Dwayne
oldest.
Wayans.
Huh. I wonder what Dwayne Wayans does.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. But yeah, there was 10 kids, him being the second eldest. He was doing stand-up, decided to pursue comedy, did other things first, and then, like you said, wanted to do a show that kind of was like SNL, but also featuring hip-hop culture and like dancing and all that other stuff. It was like an amalgamation of all kinds of things.
It was like a music video with comedy.
Right.
Like, every week it was a half hour. Well, we thought it was a half hour.
We thought it was.
Watching it without commercials, it's a 15 to
very
20 minute
short.
show.
Some of them are very, very short, where it's mostly dancing.
Yeah, when they take out some of the sketches, for sure, in the certain versions that we saw, some of them were super short.
And I wanted to be a fly girl so bad. What?
Dwayne's a composer.
Oh, Dwayne's a composer. Okay. Oh, and by the way, sorry, Kim's off mic because even after 200 fucking episodes, after 200 episodes,
she
my
lowered her
dumbass,
Patreon and we had to take the microphone back.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? No. you don't deserve it. But yeah, my dumbass left the fucking charging cord for our whatever the fuck you call that, our little recording hub thing. And so we had to go back. Yeah, we had to go back to Will Scarlet, which is only a 2-input system. So,
so it's just
it was either no episode or an unmiked episode.
Right. And thankfully I'm weird and still travel with the Scarlet, even though you tell me I don't need to, but I did this time.
You're
and I came
smarter
in
than
clutch.
me. You're smarter than me.
Well, it's bound to happen. Like we're gonna forget something.
True.
We're gonna forget something back and forth.
So something I learned that I did not ever hear about at the time when I was looking at that wiki is that they were going to try to reboot this in 2011.
Yes, and they held auditions. They held for like Fly Girls for people to be on the show. None of the
and Keenen was still going to host.
He
and
was
be
going to
executive
host
producer.
it, but that was it. Like nobody else. Like they all kind of were like,
maybe
we'll see
maybe
how
not.
it goes,
right?
And then maybe we'll come back and do some stuff. But even he said he's like, it's not this isn't gonna work.
He said it basically wasn't sustainable after one season.
Right.
The way
It's
it
like
was.
it wasn't.
And there's pilots somewhere. If you know somebody,
Oh.
they filmed some pilots but never aired them.
Okay.
Or not some pilots. They filmed a couple of episodes or
Right,
something
right.
and never aired them.
Or
so
like
if you have
sketches or
any
something.
where you know of that we can look at those, I would love to see.
Yeah, I would
just
love to see it.
What was the vibe in 2011?
How weird.
Yeah, that would have been very strange.
I feel like I had heard rumblings of it, but it
I don't
was
remember that.
just in like the very early stages. Like maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. And also, like you said, so many things come up with like shows and movies where like people just be making shit up.
Right.
And
that's
who
also
knows?
true.
Who
And
knows
it-
what's real?
Everybody talking about wanting to audition to be a fly girl. That's
Oh,
what
maybe.
the rumblings were that I-
Yeah.
Fly girl auditions.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my notes broken down by season.
Okay. Kind of same.
And so season 1 was only 13 episodes, which
Right.
you mentioned. And they started with 5 fly girls and we're down a fly girl by the
Right.
end of this, right? Do we know what
And-
happened with that?
We don't. I do know that Deirdre,
Is the one that lasted all the way.
She went all the way through, and they wanted J-Lo in the second season.
Oh.
Keenan wanted her in the second season,
for some reason.
well, no, not for some reason. He put the vote to the Fly Girls,
Oh,
and they chose
some
Carla.
tension?
They
Okay.
chose her because they knew her from before,
Oh, okay.
and she was like properly trained.
Gotcha.
And J-Lo was not
She wasn't
properly
Jenny from
trained.
the block?
She was not Jenny from the block. So they had her on, I think, only for one go round.
Oh,
and then
okay.
she was gone in favor
Gotcha.
of J-Lo.
So the season 1 cast, you want to break it down for us?
The season 1
Get your
cast.
grid out.
I know, get my grid out. Let's see. We have Jim Carrey, Tommy Davidson, David Allen Grier, Takia Crystal Keymah, Keenen Ivory Wayans, Kim Wayans, Kelly Coffield, Damon Wayans, and Kim Coles.
Yes, which
Who
Kim
was-
Coles also was
she
only
only
one.
did
Did she
one.
leave for Living Single or wasn't
No, she left because she was not happy.
she? Oh, okay.
She
Wasn't
was
for her.
no, it wasn't for her. I think she had some issues with some of the things they wanted her to do, and she wasn't feeling it. So
Okay.
she left and then went on to do Living Single, which I love that show.
Of course.
I love that fucking show.
The original Friends, exactly.
I know the Better Friends.
And then
The
I have
Better Friends.
I have just the original Fly Girls listed. Do you have them? I have them.
them too.
I got Deidre Lang. That says Carl. Carrie French.
Carrie French.
Lisa Marie Todd. Barbara Lumpkin. And
What?
Michelle. Mine said Barbara,
Barbara
Lumpkin.
Lumpkin. I
and
do not have-
Michelle Whitney Morrison.
Is she the one that
Maybe she's the one that
Because I
disappeared.
don't have her on any. I
She
would
just showed
remember
up-
that name.
Right.
I would remember
This
Barbara
is Fly Girl
Lumpkin.
Barbara Lumpkin.
Is that why? Because he used to introduce the Fly Girls. And you could
Maybe
be like, I can't be introducing Barbara Lumpkin.
He introduced him by name at least in one episode in the
like
first season.
I want to say
First or
the
second.
first season,
One of them. I think
or
I
when
might
they
have
would get a new one too. He would like introduce the new.
Anytime the
Fly
cast or
Girls.
the Fly Girls changed,
Yes,
he would say
do,
something.
Yeah,
So and now I
Barbara
had that.
Lumpkin. I know. Wow.
So I had that Rosie Perez was doing choreography from the beginning, but you told me no, not in
Well,
season
no,
1.
okay, and now I can't find anything to back that up. But
Okay.
also, AJ Johnson, I guess, was for the pilot
Mm-hmm.
episode. There was a person named AJ Johnson. Then I also saw that Tisha Gina Campbell was also a part of that.
Really? And yeah, and I.
But who's to say?
Who knows?
Who's to say?
But it was definitely Rosie from sometime in season 1 all the way
Yes,
through season
yes.
4, and then she left when the Wayans left. I think.
Yeah, actually, I have that here.
Yeah.
That she was choreographer all the way, and she did. She left when the Wayans left.
Yeah. So I have mine. So we only talked about this in advance a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what my categories are and you tell me how your categories are and
Okay.
how we're going to fit this in. So I have favorite characters / sketches from season 1.
Okay.
And then I have just a list of
What
all of
those
the
things
memorable
were.
ones for
Okay.
me.
All right.
And so we can kind of interject, go back and
Well,
forth.
I would just like to mention the very, very first skit.
Mm-hmm.
The very first thing that was ever on In Living Color was the Love Connection
Oh, right.
with Jim Carrey as Chuck Woolery, 2 and
Mm-hmm.
2. And Keenen Ivory Wayans as Mike Tyson.
Correct.
And Kim Coles was the date.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this earlier, but I'm going to tell the story to everybody else. I saw Damon Wayans doing an interview, and he said that Keenen Ivory Wayans, Kim Coles, and he had all heard from Mike Tyson about the sketch.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Tyson ran into Damon Wayans somewhere and was like, oh, hey, like grabbed him and like, oh, hey. And he bit him.
Ooh,
7 years
foreshadowing.
before the Holyfield incident, Mike Tyson bit Damon Wayans. Like not
Like a friendly bite?
like a little
Playful,
like a
I
playful,
guess?
like I don't know.
I don't know if Mike Tyson's biting me. I don't
If
know.
Mike Tyson was kind of upset about the sketch because that was also the ecstatic. I'm ecstatic.
Uh-huh.
Ludacris did not show up until later, but it was all about being ecstatic. And if he wasn't super pleased about it, I still wouldn't want him biting me.
Right? You don't know, man.
Don't bite me. But at that time, we didn't know.
That's true. You
We
didn't know to be wary of
yeah,
the
you
teeth.
didn't know to be scared.
gnashing.
Could you imagine like the bite mark that leaves with the? I don't want to say too much because I don't want to take a punch from Iron Mike Tyson.
No, I know he's old now, but
I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't.
so I have it's like not ranked at all.
Okay.
It's just kind of in the order that my notes were. So
right.
Homeboy Shopping Network is the first on my list just
Yes.
because that was one of the first
Mo
ones.
money, mo money, mo money.
And then the movie Mo Money had absolutely nothing to do with that, right? It was just
no.
used
Well, kind
that-
of. They were like scammers.
Okay, but it wasn't
So,
them,
but it
right?
wasn't them,
Right.
But it was just kind of loosely based, and then of course they had used the Mo
The Mo
money,
Money thing.
obviously, because that's what it was called.
So yeah, and that's in some of these, because they're recurring sketches, unless something super memorable stood out to me about one
Right.
of the sketches, I just kind of listed what the
Right.
sketch was.
That's what it was.
So I don't have any other notes on Homeboy Shopping Network for this season, but I think in some later seasons I have some additional.
I think I do for the Super Bowl
Yes,
show that they
same,
do. Okay.
same. So then, of course, and this is probably if I had ranked them number one.
Oh,
Men on Film.
Oh my God. So I have discovered in the course of doing this that I basically grew up to be David Allen Grier.
She uses so much of this vocabulary.
The vocabulary, the mannerisms, the strength. I was watching a
Yep.
fucking sketch and he straight up says Lil Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, with the S at the end. Exactly.
And I was like, oh.
So don't get
They're-
mad.
don't get
Don't
mad.
hate me, Twan.
Don't
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
And then the fucking Glenn Close, I love him.
Glenn Close is a woman.
Clutch the pearls.
What a sneaky thing to do.
Exactly. Oh my God. And then two snaps up. The first one's just the
With
two snaps up.
Little Pat Maritas.
Always with the S at the end.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. She gets her fashion sense,
Everything.
her vocabulary, her
Film.
mannerisms.
That has become my entire fucking
Yep.
life.
And unfortunately, mine is probably fucking Fire Marshal Bill or something.
Right?
Let me hear
Oh
something.
God, the way that we would do that's not.
Oh yeah,
this
I have a
season.
note.
That's
Okay,
not
okay.
this season.
That's not the season yet. Okay, so Clutch the Pearls, two snaps up. Men on Art. So they also do Men on Art this season.
Right. I
give
have Men
David-
on Art and Men on Books.
They give David two snaps up in a circle. They hate all the other art. Hated it.
Yeah, Mona Lisa hated it.
Men on Books from a male. But that's when they started doing from a
the
male point of view.
We also, because I did write down the sponsors.
Oh yes.
Ben Gay. I ain't gonna touch it. Ben did.
Oh Ben.
And then yeah, Men on Books brought to you by Wang.
What was Wang? Do you even know?
This is computers.
Oh, okay.
They did Robinson Crusoe and Little Women and Little Men.
Hated
it. Roughing It.
And I didn't even write. So because my notes are so scattered, I just have this phrase. You gonna make me read you on public access?
Yes, you're gonna make me read you on public. I also wrote that down because I felt like it was important. And this one for Moby Dick.
Oh yes.
They had the Zorro snap
In
three
a Z
snaps in
formation.
formation. And next time we'll review Dickens.
Anything with the word dick in it works for them. But always with the glossy lips.
Yes.
And the blousy outfits. And you guys,
the tiny hat.
so we took some photos. We did some dress up. You know how we do sometimes?
We
It's
like
the
to
200th
play.
episode.
We like to play.
We did some dress up and we got some videos and photos that you may or may not see once I
don't
have
know.
my glasses on and watch them and look at them
we'll
again.
see what happens.
But we dressed up as Anton and Blaine, and we also have some flag girl, flag girl outfits. But like I said, we'll see if those see the light of day.
We'll see.
So then I have Go On Girl, which was
Right.
Takia's talk show, which I didn't have anything specific about this, but that was a memorable for one for me
yes,
later. I think it's in
yes.
season 2 or 3.
Well,
there was
this
some.
one with Kim Wayans, right, where she's like doing that whatever. And Kim Cole's fringy pants. Did you notice those?
Oh no.
She had on jeans that had several layers of fringe.
Okay.
I'd wear it.
Right?
I'd wear it. But yeah, they found out they had the same man.
Oh, okay.
Come
okay,
on,
okay.
let's not
Yes.
fight. Remember, go on, girl.
That's
Go on,
right.
girl.
Go on, girl.
Right. In the second episode, we get Arsenio Hall.
Oh God, which was Keenen, right?
Yes, with that
the
big
long
finger.
fucking finger. And the big
the big
old
booty.
booty.
Yes.
Which I'll have notes
and
later.
the teeth.
Oh God,
God,
always.
all of the things. Like Arsenio Hall, like,
The only one who got done worse on the teeth in Arsenio Hall is Chris Rock. When Sean started doing Chris Rock and they had them bunny teeth in his head. That was bad.
Yes. And then Chris Rock shows up.
Right? He's like, you know what? Stop dressing up like me.
Stop. I will
just fucking come
I
on the
will
show.
just fucking do it. Because what was he in? Is it I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
I
Where
think
he's
so.
the ribs, which he revised that for the show, obviously.
That was his
Cheap
character
Pete.
that he kept
Cheap
coming in as
Pete.
Cheap Pete. Yeah.
How about I give you 25 cents? Just let me smell it.
Yeah, I have notes up for season 5 when he's on there. So then we get Anton Jackson,
Yes. Oh,
Damon
my God.
Wayans as the homeless man who lives in a box.
with the pickle jar.
His pickle jar full of his own piss, probably.
And I
a
always like
floating pickle.
assumed that was like a turd. That was supposed to be a fucking turd in there.
I don't know if I ever thought that or not, but I don't. Yeah, it was
Because
just
it was
his-
always his bathroom,
it was
so I
his
just
urinal
assumed
for
that
sure.
the pickle was a turd.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And I don't have any other notes other than that until the later seasons.
No, that one was just so gross with the booger. And
always.
I did enjoy Kim Wayans doing the Grace Jones.
Yes,
I like to chew glass.
Kim Wayans was underrated.
She really was. She's one of the funniest people. One of the funniest people. It was like that John Lovett sketch, like, you say funny things, I say things funny.
Yeah. The Jerry's Kids telethon.
They're addicted to Jerry Curl, JHERI, Jerry's Kids.
Yes, so of course Jim Carrey is Jerry Lewis, and little Tommy Davidson with his wet
Tommy
head.
Davidson.
He could be bigger than me. I don't know, but I look at the screen and I see little Tommy Davidson.
He's definitely tiny and tight.
But that wet Jerry
I know.
curl just dripping all in
know.
his face as he's like, please donate. Please now.
It gives that Coming to America. It gives that soul glow.
Exactly.
Let your soul glow.
We'll do that one eventually. I love that.
I
fucking
do love
movie.
that movie. But we did have our first movie parody. Was in the second episode, and that was the Star Trek, The Wrath of Farrakhan.
Yes. And that's on some top 10 lists.
It is on some top 10 lists, and that one is also one of those things I feel like that was not necessarily received well.
Oh.
Because the pilot, they wanted to cut Wrath of Farrakhan, and they wanted to cut Men on Film. They were like,
really? No way.
we can't, like, that's so offensive.
I think that
Like,
might
we
be
can't
my
do-"
favorite of all
It
the
is my
sketches,
favorite
yeah.
of all. It is 100% my
Yeah.
favorite one of all. Could you imagine a world
Without men on film?
without men on anything?
Right? I cannot.
I cannot. And then we have our second movie reference, The Lassie 90. With the pit bull.
With the pit bull, which we just watched. There's a blooper reel available that you can watch.
Right.
And they had some troubles with the dog.
The Vortex 2 tampon commercial. Where
Oh,
it
I have
sucks
so
up.
I have parodies and commercials
Oh,
in
you
its
have
own
that
category.
separate. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I like that. Let's
So
do
yeah, I've
that.
got that one in there.
Okay, all right. And this one in the third episode of the first season is the Bolt 45.
Okay.
That one was there, but that one only aired that one time. I swear I saw it.
I
If it
think I
only
did. That
aired
sounds
one
super
time,
familiar,
'cause
yeah.
I'm familiar, and I didn't go look at. There was no YouTube. You couldn't
Right.
go find it on the
I'm
internet.
sure I
so-
must have seen it. Well, because I watched them all live.
Yeah,
I mean, if it
was
aired
when
that
it was
first time, that's
'cause
when
it
I
wasn't
saw it.
on again. Like
Right.
until later on when they were putting it in syndication.
Right.
So yeah, that was that. And when they replaced it with the Exxon Valdez captain in his house, and he's just fucking shit up everywhere before he goes out.
Which could have just been Fire Marshal Bill. It's the
It
same
could have
thing.
been pretty much.
And then I have the Mama's Diner.
Snack and
Pick it up.
Shack. Grits, pick it up.
Which, oh my God.
And everything is disgusting.
Tommy Davidson and David Allen Greer in these sketches.
Those really quick, like
Just that-
one-liners, just the face and the mannerisms and the things that they do.
And I have this. So he's like, pick it up. And then David Allen Greer is Crazy Leon sitting at a table and he goes, I can make a booger talk.
Booger talk.
Oh my God.
Yes.
They're always
I put
dropping
that right
like,
underneath. Pick it up. I can make a booger
talk.
talk.
That's a standout line right there.
I died. I was laughing so hard.
But yeah, that one comes up all the way through, I think, the fourth season.
It goes, there's a couple of times that one was a recurring one that
Yeah.
came up quite a few times. And the joke was everything in there is disgusting.
Yes.
They find a breast implant.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a hair
There's a
net,
bunch
like
of-
all kinds of nasty shit. And Tommy Davidson back there cannot hear what the fuck they're saying.
Anything
and
you
he's just
say,
bringing-
he just hears
He's like
something that
Amelia
rhymes with
Bedelia.
it. But he immediately has the food ready somehow.
Right.
Ding, pick it up.
pick it up, pick it up.
I got Heyman, a.k.a. the Headleys.
Yes.
Hardest working West Indian family in town.
I'm the butcher, the baker,
The candlestick maker. I got 9 jobs, man.
you lazy lima bean. Oh, we would with that all
I
the
had,
fucking time.
as an adult, so I started working where I work at 21 years old. I am 45 years old. We had a supervisor, a regional manager. So my supervisor's supervisor.
From the West Indies.
And he would say 3 times now. And every fucking time he said the word 3,
Tree.
I heard 3 jobs, man. Like, I'm sorry.
I
can't not do it.
I
It's
was
not my fault.
damaged by In Living Color.
Not my fault. And then I have a note for Kelly doing Andrea Dice Clay.
Yes.
Eat my pussy.
Eat my pussy.
And she also did Samantha
Sam- yes,
Kinison.
and he loved it.
Oh, he's in the
He
later
was on
season.
that,
He comes
and
on.
that was
yeah.
like a few months before he died, or like
Oh, wow.
a year before he died, or something like that.
But I love Kelly Coffield was another kind of.
Yes.
She was definitely used effectively in this show, but I feel like people forget her name and don't. Like, I don't know what she's doing now. Like, she was fucking hilarious.
I know.
I would watch anything with Kelly Coffield in it. And her husband,
yeah,
Steve Park.
Yeah, Steve Park. They met on
a later cast member.
a
They
later
met
cast
here.
member. They met here, and they're still married. They're still together.
Isn't that lovely?
Isn't that nice? They got married in 1999. Have 2 kids.
So yeah, well after.
So
the
well
show.
after, but I believe, well, obviously they knew each other while they
Right.
were doing this.
So
and
my-
who was she living with? Not In Living Color.
I was gonna say what? Who's she living with? What?
Oh, I feel like her and Takia Crystal Keymah lived
Were
together.
roommates or something?
Yeah, while they were doing this.
Okay.
Or was it Kim Coles? She might have lived with Kim Coles.
Coffield.
Mm-hmm.
She appeared on. You remember Jim Carrey had that show on Showtime, Kidding?
No.
Where
No.
he was like a Mr. Rogers character.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I don't remember
Kind of like the
anything about that. But she was
dysfunctional
on
home
there.
show.
Yeah. She
Oh.
appeared
Okay.
on there as a guest.
Yeah,
She's
I
an
did
actress.
see that
She's
she
doing
like she'll
stuff.
she'll pop up every once in a while, you know,
On different TV
whatever.
things.
But yeah, she was also a really kind of underrated like comic, I guess. I thought she was really funny.
I always did. Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. They did use them effectively because
For
they
sure.
they were supposed to be like they often played the uptight white
Right.
character.
But they were good at it.
Of course they were good at it.
So then, of course, we've got Homie D Clown.
Homie the clown.
Flop, 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 flop.
Never messed
We
around.
learned so much from Homie over the years. We learned never to trust
Mostly
Whitey.
that he don't play that.
We learned he don't play that. We learned about dignity.
Shay White.
It's the opposite of that.
What you're feeling right now is the,
The
opposite of that. And that's based off of Paul Mooney. Homie the Clown is
Okay.
based off of the comic Paul Mooney, who
Okay.
also worked on the
Like
early
writing or
seasons
something?
of In Living Color. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell the story now. I think I've told it on a previous podcast, but no better time.
This is the
Homie
time, girl.
had us so hard in
the
his grasp. This whole
chokehold.
show had this so hard in our grasp. So, and I messaged a friend, LeVar, if you're out there listening. I messaged my friend LeVar. We went to elementary school together and was like, hey, do you have any In Living Color specific memories of elementary school? And he's like, well, I remember me and my brothers learning to fill socks with other
Yes.
socks and beat the shit out of each
Me
other.
and my
with them."
brother would run around smacking each other with socks filled with socks.
And then I was like, do you remember when Daniel's mom came in to teach us French? and we said, can you teach us to say homie, don't play that? And she said, what is a homie? And I said, do you still remember how to say it? And he replied, he got one letter wrong.
Yeah.
Homie, neju pasa. I can still to this day, and I double checked. I went to Google Translate and made sure. But yes, to this day, even though I almost never get to say it, I still remember how to say it in French.
And what was this thing that I just wrote down? Oh, that's something else. After episode 6 is when they moved to Sunday nights. So it was very quickly.
Pretty all right. So that's why I remember it being Sundays.
It was Sunday nights after the first couple of episodes. Episode 7, did you have Salt and Pepper cooking with Salt and Pepper?
No.
Later on, that one was Kim Wayans and Takia.
I'm sure
Keymah.
It's in my massive notebook full
right,
of notes,
that it's in
but
here
I
somewhere.
didn't. Yeah,
but they did Cooking with Salt and Pepper. There was another Haymon.
Parnell and Edna Louise,
Yes.
which should have lasted longer because that one
Parnell.
And I think it's the second season. I have more notes of like there was an episode where they had so many good insults for elementary school playground use, and I wrote them all down. So I don't have it yet, but I have it. And that while she's doing this character, Edna Louise, she's giving me the girl from Real Genius.
Oh,
that likes the nerdy one.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I have so much energy. Like that same mannerisms and everything. Vera DeMilo was introduced in season 1, the lady bodybuilder on steroids. Tommy as MC Hammer in pants so big they swallow him up.
He has to pull it up over his head
so he can still
got
sing.
his little. Not because that. Well, no, it's like the front of him.
It's out.
He's always wearing a little Speedo under there.
Yes, he is. Calhoun Tubbs wrote a song about. Like here we go.
I like the one where he goes to Fatback's funeral.
And all of these, I'm sure I probably realized it at the time, but watching them a week apart over a series of years and watching them 4 days together, you realize how formulaic all of these are. But it wasn't, you didn't even care because it was about the mannerisms and the stupid little taglines. And
it doesn't matter.
It was funny no matter what. Benita Boutrell.
Yes.
I ain't one to gossip,
but you ain't heard that from me.
We say that
and
all the time.
Nobody better say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins.
Oh, God.
She was like a mother to me.
And as soon as they walk away, but don't leave her alone with your purse.
She'll rob you blind, though.
Yes, she will.
But so funky she
Speaking of butts, the Buttmans, that didn't last very long, but they had the Butthead family.
And when they had Jim Carrey come on as Richard Dickerson.
I knew someone named Dick Dickerson when I was younger.
No.
And short for Richard, but he went by Dick. Your last name is Dickerson and you go by Dick?
He was just playing the hand he was dealt.
I guess.
He was just playing the hand he was dealt. What was the other thing? Ray Charles in Charge and Little Richard's Playhouse. You remember? Shut up!
Oh, shut up!
Shut up!
Always telling everyone to shut
up.
You better shut up. And then now I have, so that's all my sketches. Then I have.
But we have to mention because I loved it. I love Laquita. With Kim Wayans as Laquita and Jim Carrey is like Ricky Ricardo.
That's
and
right.
He would always say, Laquita.
That was a good
and
one.
that one was in black and white. That one would come out in black and white.
Yes. So now for my product parody, commercial parodies, Vortex 2 tampons, where it sucks up the whole pool, which made me scared to ever go in the pool wearing a tampon, literally.
I still think about it.
Literally.
I still think about it.
I still do. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson's Potato Head Kit.
Yes.
400 facial features, peel it to make it white. Della Reese for Reese's Pieces.
Della Reese's Pieces.
She takes a bite out of all of them for you. I'm sure there were more, but those are the ones that were my favorites.
Oh my God. Oh, it's too much. Yeah, I think that's pretty much.
And then I only have, this doesn't have a lot of stuff in most of the episodes, but I put a little thing for memorable moments on stage. So things that weren't part of sketches. So in episode 3 of season 1, Keenen brings out his family members that are on the show and introduces the SW1 is his brother.
Right.
And he's like, give me my shoes back. And then Damon comes out, give me my shirt back. And he's like, you better chill out before I take my chest back. But I always love when there are little dynamics, not just between the family, but when the little
all
glimpses into the whole cast having their little moments. And then now I fucked up. The only musical performance I have on here is Digital Underground. And I don't even know if they were one of the musical performances or they were just there because they mentioned Digital Underground in an episode, but I don't know if they actually played.
I feel like there was one musical guest before Queen Latifah.
I think she was the first. I thought Queen Latifah was the first.
She was the first one we saw.
Oh.
There was somebody else before that, but I don't think that one ever went to
See how good we are at researching.
I know.
All this time.
Right? All this time. I know, with all this shit, and I can't find nothing in it. Look at all this. I wrote everything down.
You have anything else for season 1? Because it's already almost break time.
I do not.
All right. Well, we will take a quick break and come back with season 2.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back.
Howdy, I'm Luke from the Howdy Beans podcast, a variety podcast where I look into topics each week into the world of pop culture, like book reviews, where I delve deep into the expanded universe of Doctor Who, or a movie review on the 1998 cult classic The Mummy, or if you're very lucky, I might take a peek under the hood of video games both new and old. So what are you waiting for? Check out the Howdy Beans podcast now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else that you may find your podcast, and I'll see you very soon.
Yeah, we're back.
We are back with episode.
Season 2.
Season 2.
And now we've upped from 13 episodes to 24 episodes.
26.
Oh, 20, you have 26? I have 24.
26.
Oh, interesting.
There might be some lost ones in there.
Well, and I'm telling you, when I was doing my research, because this one we actually did look at a wiki, look at some things, and it was kind of contradictory depending on what you looked at. There's not as much articles about this, top 10 lists. Like, this was our fucking childhood. Like, we
Pretty
still
much.
are.
I just
Tessa's
said.
apparently a character from this fucking show as an adult.
Antoine Merriweather.
And there's just not enough stuff out there about In Living Color.
No, there really isn't.
It was formative for us.
Very much so. I would imagine it was formative for a lot of people.
I would assume. And by episode 18 of season 2, Keenen stops doing the onstage intro himself for the first time. So already season 2 later in, he's kind of pulling back a little bit.
Kind of kicking it out to some other of the people. But I did enjoy the first intro of the second season when they come out with those Jackson noses. Like I told you because it was just Keenen at first.
Right.
And I was like, whoa,
what is
they
going
got
on?
some contour on. Like he's already got a thin nose. Like there's no reason to do that contour. And then once Damon and Kim came out, I'm like, oh,
Gotcha.
it's a Jackson joke. I see. Because at first it could have just been Keenan's nose.
So yeah, Kim Coles is already gone, but the rest of the cast remains the same with the addition of SW1 and the Fly Girls to the main
the credits.
The
opening credits.
And now there were 3 different sets of opening credits, I think. There was the one where they're painting.
Yes.
Splash and paint everywhere.
Yes.
And then the next set is the paintings.
The art gallery.
And then the last one is just only in the very last season is some weird SNL style, like on a billboard in Times Square. It became
more so like that.
Yeah.
At the very, very end.
So let's get straight into it because we took a lot of time on season 1.
I know, right?
So again, fave character sketches, Men on
Film. Brought to you by Nuts and Honey. What'd you say? Nut and Honey.
Dick Tracy, great title, but the movie made me limp.
Everybody looked like what their names were. Prune Face looked like a little prune. But I didn't get to see Dick.
Oh my God. Pretty Woman hated it.
And what was it? The little Spike Lee. That was his sister.
Spike Lee.
Oh.
And then this one was 2 snaps, a twist, and a
kiss. Yes, that's right.
And then we had Men on Vacation, sponsored by Jules, the gum that explodes in your mouth.
Bet you can't eat just one.
And that was.
Why would you want
it
to?
It wasn't called that, or no, was it? Was the
it
gum
might
called
have
Jules?
It might have been.
Cum gum?
Cum gum, yeah.
Which is what we called it.
Yeah.
So I don't know the real name because we called it cum gum. But Jules does sound familiar. Maybe.
I have no idea. But yes, they had the cum gum. They went back and forth to Greece.
It kept returning to Greece. And then I think they were in
went
the
to
French
Holland,
Riviera.
Land of Dykes. Hated it. Oh, he says, oh no, Miss Thing. You put that fish back in the ocean.
Chewels. Chewels was what it was. Chewels, not
it's
Jules.
Tuesday, mate. What in it?
Tenabong.
Tenabong. Not Ninabong.
It is Tenabong right now.
Oh
actually.
shit. No shit.
And this ending was Around the World and Back Snap. And I think that was the only Men on Films that were in this season, right? Was it
I
just
think Men on Television was
Oh,
later
I might
on
have
in
missed that one.
They did the NBC, Nothing But Cosby. But the Fresh Prince, that wasn't the Prince I was looking for. I was looking for high heels and a purple G-string. Golden Girls hated it, which
No, come
unfair.
on, they would have loved it.
Designing Women hated it. Also,
Unfair, they would have loved
they
it.
would have loved it. They talk about if that Delta 747 gets any bigger. Yikes. They're talking about Murder, She Wrote, running around trying to find out who done it when she hasn't done it in a very long time.
I'm sorry, Jessica Fletcher ain't out here getting laid.
No, she's out here committing murders.
She sure is. Jessica Fletcher's a serial killer.
And once again, Perfect Strangers.
Did they love it?
He talks, oh yes, when Lil Balky comes from Greece. And he was like, oh, I don't know about Lil Balky, but he might have been happier at home with all them sheep.
Oh.
And this is where they like kind of start laughing. He's like, oh, I thought I heard a chicken. And the chicken thing was like their code word for jokes that bomb.
Right.
Or like, you're doing a chicken. That's why they threw those chickens out at that Broadway.
Which I loved. I went to see the rest of the Broadway celebration from Dag.
Dag.
And now this is just an honorable mention, but Frenchie.
Yes.
Keenen as this kind of Rick James.
And Keenan's Rick James was better than Dave Chappelle's Rick James.
Yes, I think so.
Keenan's much better. What's his name? Jamie Foxx's Prince was not better than Dave Chappelle's Prince, but
Right.
Keenen Ivory's Rick James was. But yes, they had that one. And Frenchie came from Keenen Ivory Wayans going out and hanging out with Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
And they would go out and act silly and do fucking shit. So they would get ready to go out, and he started putting on all this ridiculous shit and the shades, and he would put a sausage down his pants. And they were like, you're not going to go out like that. And he's like, watch me. And he went out as Frenchie to Studio 54.
Oh my God.
With Eddie Murphy.
That would have been a sight to see.
I bet he blended right in.
Right? To be a fly on the wall. My next note is Funky Finger Productions.
Yes.
Where's our card?
You know I'm fresh out.
Bam!
Oh my God.
We got to start doing that. If we're together anywhere.
You know I'm fresh out.
And I come out with a bam! Some of the times he did that, he knocked people out of their fucking chairs with that bam. It was amazing. Edna, Louise, and Parnell. So here's the one I have all of the stuff that were things that we probably used on the playground.
Right.
Count Barfula.
Yes.
Say it, don't spray it. I want the news, not the weather. You said the F word. Farfignugan. Why did we say fucking Farfignugan all the time? Because of those commercials,
that
right?
That was the commercial, yeah. The Farfignugan commercials.
Despise Manelli. Barf Vader. Poopy Longstocking. And just the way they said them, like the whole mouth movements were fucking
my God,
amazing.
their faces. It was one of those things that you had to see it.
Yes.
That's what made it funny.
Yes.
We also had, I have to talk about the Hour of Power.
Oh, yeah.
With, what is it? Ed Cash and Carl Pathos. Because he did that.
They did that for a while.
They did it. That
that was
a couple
Damon and
times.
Jim.
Yes.
As the televangelists or whatever.
Yeah. And we do that thing where you jump up out of the chair crotch first.
Yes.
It was just like that Jimmy Swaggart thing he did. Mm-hmm. That's like every time I make jokes about Jimmy Swaggart or like my left foot or any of those things, it's Jim Carrey's jokes about that. It's not about the actual thing. I'm just reliving and living color.
Exactly.
That's the way I'm living because I'm living in living color.
And now this is the first one I have that was not in the run that we saw. You won't find it in the YouTube series or the Plex series. White baby.
So very white.
Jim Carrey as Vanilla Ice. We watched that right before we started, and I am telling you. Let's kick it, and that shoe flies off. I fucking died.
I gotta tie my laces.
Oh my god!
I'm not stupid.
I gotta learn to tie a bow.
I just stupid.
That was a great one.
Yes.
You can just on YouTube
you
just
could
look
just find
up.
You could just find them
In Living Color Vanilla Ice parody or something. Sorry, there's a burp
fucking-
stuck in there.
I remember seeing that. I think we all died that night.
It was so
We might have
good.
all died that
when
night.
he loses his place in the choreography.
Yes, and he
he's
can't
just
find
all
it again. It was just
confused.
that fucking hair, that whatever that
God.
was that was stuck, and he's like doing that head thing.
When he did the dances pretty
I
close to
know.
how Vanilla Ice did the dances.
That's how Vanilla Ice dances.
Yeah.
I remember.
What's your real name? Rob Van Winkle. Why'd you change it? Nothing
Nothing
rhymes with Winkle.
Winkle.
Oh my God, it was
wow.
good.
That was good.
We also have, now I have several notes this season for Vera DeMilo. The buffed, beautiful, and bitchin' workout tape.
Yes.
And where he dislocates his arm behind his head
Yes.
and burns his lips with a curling iron to plump him, and it's all fucking scabby and disgusting. The Vera Mistress of Destruction, the
Yes.
Conan spoof.
With the little tiny bikini.
You shall never taste my ambrosia. I shall unleash the memories that kings and princes have died for. When you mess with my breasts, you die like the rest.
so bad, but so fucking
good.
funny.
So good.
Funny. Pretty buffed woman. The
Yes.
Pretty Woman parody where he has exact same pink and black
With the little
unitard
thing.
mini skirt number, and then at the end has that same red dress.
Right.
And basically she stops the DeLorean, or not DeLorean, whatever he was driving, by lifting it up.
Yes.
And she's like, "It's Sadie Hawkins Day." And she forces David Allen Grier to take her to the hotel and shopping. And it's because I loved Pretty Woman as a kid.
Right.
This was great for me. I loved it.
Do they do a thing with the...
I don't think they did the box snap because he
Oh,
ran
'cause he-
away. He
Oh,
was
'cause
trying
that
to get
would've-
away the whole time.
That would have been the perfect thing to give a...
They did the bathtub bubble bath scene, and he's like, it's just her in the bath, and then he comes up from underneath, and she like shoves him back down under the water.
No. What was the other one? Oh, the Cephas and Reese.
Oh yeah, I have an honorable mention because they did that
Cephas
one
and
a lot.
Reese,
Yeah,
that one came up a lot.
The Homeboy Shopping Network is now selling maps to stars' homes, including blueprints. We have the introduction of the Adventures of Handyman.
Oh my God.
The Justice Legion of America loses a class action affirmative action suit, and they have to let Handyman join. Never underestimate the power of the handicapped. And his alter ego is Clark Bent.
Yes. Clark Bent.
And you
Clark
said it's okay
Bent.
because he was born with a club foot,
Yeah,
right?
apparently
Damon's
it was okay.
allowed to
He was
do
born with
this.
a club foot. Well, it came from his stand-up that he would go do, and it was all about like everybody has a superhero, but
Right.
the physically handicapped do
Right,
not have
and
a superhero.
and I have a note that this was not offensive, even in a rewatch now, because
No, not
he wasn't
really.
mentally challenged. He was
No,
just
he was
physically
just
challenged.
physically
So he was
challenged.
good at being a superhero, and
Right.
he always saved the day. But the way he did it just made you laugh.
He always got off on the good foot.
I bet you Rosie Jones likes this shit.
Oh, for sure.
I think Rosie Jones, as a comedian with cerebral palsy, would fucking
Would
fully
enjoy.
vouch for Handyman. Yes. So yeah,
For a
the
split second, I'm like, I don't know what
You're all what?
But yeah, the
Who?
up and away, and he falls
out
out
of the
window
window
every
every
time.
time.
Oh, and I
And
still
then they
laugh.
show him flying with his little feet
Oh my
all
god, all
crumpled up
twisted.
behind him.
So good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Homie D Clown as Santa Claus.
Yes.
Santa homie.
No, that's not this one. That's not the one where he gets set up with the
With the white
parole
lady
officer.
or the parole officer. I think that might be this season. I don't remember.
I don't know. Perhaps.
Velma Mulholland. I want to give a shout out.
Yes.
Kelly did this crazy black and white,
Yes.
old timey character, but everything but her and her apartment in the scene. Like anyone who would come into it was not in black and white.
Right,
So
they
I
were-
think it
everything
was
else
all
was in
makeup
color.
and set design.
I want to say it was just her. I don't even think the apartment around her.
Good, you know what? Good question. I know I just watched it, but I already can't remember. But yeah, she
Yeah.
for sure was in black and white.
She
And she was always
definitely
looking
was.
for Johnny.
Oh,
Johnny.
Johnny.
And like people would break into her apartment. And she
Right,
thought
she
they were
would think
Johnny.
they were
She's
Johnny.
like
They were
giving him all of her
Johnny.
shit.
And her being in black and white was also Damon Wayans' his idea to put her like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if she was in black and white, but the world has moved on
Yes.
and
Yeah, it
it's
was
in
just
color.
her, it wasn't
It was just her. Okay, so
Okay,
just
yeah.
she was in black and white. The introduction of the head detective.
I love the head detective.
He's like the
dribble me.
He's like the $6 million man, but they only had 28.45. So all he is a head with hands and feet, and it always ends with either throw me at him, kick
Right.
me at
Yeah,
him,
kick me
pull
at
me
him.
at him. It's
You got to
always
do
some-
it, partner.
Oh, and also the introduction of everyone's favorite Fire Marshal Bill.
Let me tell you something. You do that thing with your lip. and
This
get your
one
teeth all
repeated.
dry.
Oh yeah. Every week you dried out your teeth. You stuck your lip up there, and you showed everybody something.
Showed everybody a little something.
And I did repeated online polls of people's favorites, and Fire Marshal Bill won by
Fire
a mile.
Marshal Bill Burns.
Yes, like almost every single time. And while I definitely loved Fire Marshal Bill, he's not my favorite.
Not my
character.
favorite.
And I think as a kid, I don't know, I must have known this at the time, but rewatching Fire Marshal Bill skits, he's clearly just a pyromaniac, right?
Well,
Was that always
he
the
wants
thing?
to start fires.
Right. And like, is he really even a fire marshal? Because
Probably
how does he
not.
still maintain a job
He
as a
did
fire marshal?
catch quite a bit of flack from the fire marshal community.
Did he?
That like that's not what we do.
Well,
it's like, well, clearly
nobody's
that's not
trying to
what you
say
do. No
all
one's
fire
saying-
marshals do this. Yeah.
It's comedy.
And that's all I have
God.
for sketches and characters in season 2.
The one where what is this the commercial for? Did you have the commercial for Summer's Dawn?
Oh, I have product parodies.
Okay,
yes.
you have that
Summer
next,
Dawn
okay.
douche and salad dressing. Spike Lee's Mo Better butter dispenser.
Yes.
Malcolm X-Lax. And the Got Milk ad where it's little child Marsha Warfield growing up into Keenen Ivory Wayans.
Yes.
Poor Marsha Warfield.
They did
What did she do
Marsha
to you?
Warfield like dirty
What
on
did she do
a
to
couple
you?
occasions.
And then I have the only thing I have for memorable moments on stage this season is there's one where the Fly Girls are missing.
Oh,
And it's because
yes.
they're performing open heart surgery.
Oh, that one.
And you thought they were just sex objects. And now this is where we really get into musical performances this
Right.
season. So we've got Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Heavy D and the Boys, Third Base, D Nice, Nikki D, Rich Nice, Leaders of the New School, Another Bad Creation, which is the most adorable performance.
You were the girl I never had, and I want to get to know you better.
KRS-One, Public Enemy with Ice Cube, and the Afros. Now on the one that I saw, it showed them in their Public Enemy gear, but I did not see
did
the
not see
Public
that
Enemy
part?
performance. So I don't know. Was it on the
Oh.
Plex one? So maybe I just
I don't think
was
so,
already to
maybe
where I
not.
was
Right, I
scrolling
was
through.
skipping through. I really was. I was trying to wrap that shit up.
You have anything else for season 2?
Let's see. Under this, they had Snack Shack again.
Yes.
They found a bunion with an eyeball in
Oh God.
it. Anton enlists. The head detective goes bowling. There was another Arsenio. Oh, this is the one where the part 1 of Homie to Clown, that's where he meets the parole officer.
Okay.
This is like a cliffhanger episode.
Right.
Because then he goes, like, he changes his whole... I don't know
Okay.
what I was doing. I might have had a stroke.
So now season 3, this one now I have written 28 episodes, but that's counting best of episodes.
29 episodes is what I wrote. So
But yeah, it's unclear.
it is unclear.
And this is where J-Lo joins the Fly Girls.
Right.
And so she gets introduced. Now Shawn Wayans is in the main cast.
Right.
Jamie Foxx and Steve Park are featured players.
Yes.
And there's a new DJ, DJ Twist.
DJ Twist, because Shawn Wayans has now moved
into the cast.
into the
yes.
cast. This is the one where they do the Rick James, the Misery 2.
Okay, so yeah, they start out the season with adult Pee Wee doll, and Jim Carrey really does a great.
He
Pee Wee
really
Herman.
does. He really does.
But this is right after the quote unquote scandal.
a scandal.
oh, no,
they
he
do
was jerking it in a
Pee-wee
porn
jokes
theater.
throughout this whole
Yes.
season.
They make Pee Wee references a lot.
Yes.
And then we have Rick James, played by Keenen, in Misery 2. And girl, how did it take for me to be watching it now to realize how much old Greg is just Rick James?
Yes.
His whole
Yes.
thing in this was like, am I watching an old Greg sketch? What is happening?
Right.
And so he's got this woman
He's a
tied to a
poopy
bed.
head duty.
He's got this woman tied to a bed, which he really did, right? Keep a
I
woman
believe she was
hostage?
tied to a radiator.
Oh, a radiator.
I believe she was tied to a radiator, and he and somebody else, his accomplice, burned her with crack pipes
Oof.
over.
So they don't do that.
No.
But she mentions MC Hammer, and he's like, oh, he has cooties.
Yeah, he's got.
You like Hammer? It's Hammer time, bitch. Sledgehammer.
And then this one also, you only see one ankle get
Yes,
hit.
again.
Oh, it was too much to do too.
And then homie meets the man. He bops
Right.
him one. Master plan to bop the man.
Right, he gets all the way up to Shea Whitey, but that was his plan all along.
Just to bop the man.
right.
Homie D substitute teacher. That was a pretty good one. I just love, it's going to be a Homie D clown sketch when the adults are dressed in overalls sitting on the floor.
Yes.
Because if there's real children there, it's not a Homie D clown sketch because he's not beating up real children, except for the one where he meets his son, which comes next season. I think.
Right. This is the one at the end of last season, the men on television or film. That's when he gets hit with the light. And then in this one, there's like the cliffhanger solved in season 3.
Because I have that it's continued, but why did I not write down
that
when
one
it started?
It was Men on Television when we had talked about all of that. Loved it, hated it. And that was when the light falls from the
and he
ceiling,
turns straight. And so
he
then in this season,
he's just a guy. And from a guy's point of view.
Blaine's trying to... Antoine's trying to club him, hit him with the
Crystal.
frying pan.
I thought there was a daddy long leg. They're breaking so much.
Oh God, they're laughing so much,
so hard, and that was part of what was funny.
My coif pour vous, Madonna.
My coif pour vous, Madonna.
You know I'm bilingual. We used to say that shit.
Yes,
all the time.
What was the Spanish word? Oh fuck!
He hits him with a breeze block. He's like,
and then eventually he's like, "All right." He keeps calling him Tony. Don't do that, Tony.
Yes.
Don't do that, Tony. And he's like...
trying to be all serious.
All right, fine, let's go. Like, hit me. And so Antoine rolls up and just... Wait!
Gives him a little punch.
Oh!
He's back. And now, did they do a T2 snap on that one?
Yes, T2.
Two snap.
I'm trying to do it, and it didn't really work out well, but they were too busy celebrating. And this I remember... Because I remember my mom going... Do you know why all this is going on? Like, do you know what they are?
Oh, is this how she told you about gay people?
This is how I learned about gay people.
In case you didn't know by all the references to men's body parts from these men.
Because, whatever. I was like 10.
True.
But this is how I come to understood.
The gay community.
Homosexuality.
Yes.
She's like, do you know why that man is wearing jorts and boots? Let me tell you.
And they do, in one of the episodes, they mentioned the last Boy Scout.
Yes, he was all, next time we're going to talk about the last Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm. Which I really liked. Night. I thought the last Boy Scout was fun.
And that
Bruce
was
Willis, Damon Wayans. Yeah. Men on Vacation. And now this is where I'm like, wait, we did this. This is where they started to do, where they were throwing in old shit.
Oh, see, because the next one that I have is also the Men on Film, but it's the
All
Halloween
the President's
one.
Man. A love story.
A love story.
I got 2 words. Scrumptious.
I'm through.
Black Stallion, by the way, is not about Denzel Washington.
No, it is not. It's about a funky old horse. It's brought to you by Ballpark Franks.
Oh,
they
of
plump
course.
when you cook them. They barely don't fit in the bun.
2 snaps and a rewind.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for Men on Film this season. Was there more?
Yeah, no, that's all I have for that.
So I have...
Who the hell was the Mexican Rocketeer? I did not remember the Mexican Rocketeer.
That was weird as hell. And
like nobody was in that.
And there was no one from the show in there.
That must have been one of those ones they just stuck in there somewhere because
they were like, oh, maybe this Hispanic comedian will take off literally because he was the Rocketeer.
Well, that's why they wanted... That's why they did want to have John Leguizamo, and that's also why they got.
He would have been so good.
I
know.
Living
Color,
and that's also why they got Steve Park because they wanted to expand their ethnicities to be able to make fun of.
Gotcha. We get head detective in drag. Either that's your wife or your bowling ball is gay.
And the wing goes flying off.
And he's got the one where he's got a girlfriend named Candy Yam, and it's like a fucking potato head.
It's Mrs. Potato Head, and she turns out to be the bank robber.
Yep, and she falls in a fryer, and Keenen eats her.
They're sitting there. He's like, it's all right, buddy.
And this is the robotic body, the season where he gets the robotic body, and it's fucking still with the hand sticking out of the neck on top of the fucking tuxedo.
Dancing all like,
and there's a blooper thing about how there was a real guy in that suit, and they could not stop laughing because they knew there was a real guy in there, and that every time they fucked up, like he was trapped inside of this closed suit, like, and that was hilarious to them.
Sweating to death, most likely.
Anton Jackson and his pickle jar interrupt Shakespeare in the park. To pee or not to pee? Friends, Romans, countrymen, let me a dollar. So good. Let me a dollar. The Headleys get Korean market next door to their restaurant, and now they're the second hardest working family in town. Funky Fingers Productions selling honeymoons to newlyweds at the Round Rump Ranch in Booty Bay. Scallywagging and lollygagging.
That's how I live my life.
They go to a funeral and they have taken the corpse out beforehand, filmed a movie where they dressed this dead man as the scarecrow and tied him to their ankles, then put the video and the TV and everything back in the coffin.
Yes.
So when they open it up, because he was like a Hollywood producer or something, bam!
The last thing he ever did.
Oh my God, they weekend at Bernie's as dead man.
Yes.
Fire Marshal Bill on a cruise with his wife, played by Kelly, who looks just like him. They really should have had Kelly do some more of those Fire Marshal Bill's wife things.
He's like,
she was
I work
hilarious,
alone.
right?
I work alone. Is this where Sam Kinison shows up this season?
So still with Fire Marshal Bill, where he's Santa Fire Marshal Bill in that fucking Barbie car with the fucking V6.
Oh my God.
And he crashes through the wall. And then he's found floating in space in 2005 around the United Nations Space Station. And he drinks the alien. And it bursts out of his belly with a little fire hat on, a little fireman's hat on.
Yes.
And he doesn't want them to hurt it because it's his baby.
It's his baby.
That one was pretty good.
This is the one also where they did the Home Alone with
JTT.
Michael. Yes, little JTT.
As
little
Macaulay.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
In Home Alone again with Tommy Davidson as Michael Jackson trying to get at him.
Oh my
inside
God.
the house.
And they burn his hair just like that Pepsi
Is
commercial.
this a Pepsi commercial? That's what I wrote.
Like these jokes were...
I can see why people got offended, but they were funny.
Well, I mean, that's what was going on at the time. That's what was
topical.
happening at the time. Well, wait, was that yet?
I feel like it was after. I feel like that happened in the late 80s, the Pepsi commercial thing.
Oh, no. The Pepsi commercial. I'm talking about the molestation charges.
Oh, I think it was always
It was just kind of
always
in the
under.
ether?
Yeah. It was kind of always known.
It is known.
The Adventures of Handy Boy, where his white adoptive parents give him a box from his home planet, the planet Palsy, on his 8th birthday. And then the one where he meets the tiny Avenger, whose name is Tina Small, and she played Minnie Mimi on the Drew Carey show.
That's right.
Where there was a little person who worked in their office, and she was like enamored by Mimi's style and attitude.
Mimi.
She kept getting these tiny versions of her outfits.
And Kim Wayans is so funny to me in this.
This
one.
villain.
I was the greatest dancer.
And the way he picks up the tiny Avenger and chucks her out
throws
the
her out
window
the
and
window.
then just falls out. Oh my God, I'm dead. And then this is the one. I've been doing this all night, you guys, and I wish I could do it for you visually. But they go to the handy-thon and they're dancing.
Oh no.
And he puts that little foot out and he says, on a good foot. And he slides that foot. Oh my God. That's one you just have to see to get why is it so hilarious.
You have to see it.
Vera DeMilo doing Got Milk style commercial for steroids. Live fast, die young, and leave a pretty corpse. Oh God, and the fist that rocks the cradle, where the baby gets buff because she's fucking breastfeeding it on her steroid milk. Oh God.
Did you see? Oh, did you see? Yes, you did. You were watching it. Krishna Cop.
Yes.
With the little ponytail. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
And he keeps coming back as different people.
Different people because he's reborn.
Oh, the one. Is this also the one, the Scully stuff for the hair? Damon Wayans
hold
is
on,
doing
I have
it with
the
his
products.
like skull cap or whatever, and he has that braid made out of his skin.
Oh God, I have a long list for products, but I don't know if that's in there or not.
Oh my God, like it's all a bunch of different hairstyles, but it's just his scalp.
Oof.
So they have all of these little appliances on his head. It's like it's for bald heads, and it like makes your head all pliable.
I remember that. I do remember that. Arsenio doing a Dare interview, and Danielle Harris is the kid he's interviewing.
Little Danielle Harris.
Talking about how she'd been smoking weed since she was 9, and he almost knocks her out of her chair with his big fake booty when he turns around. Her face, she's like, whoa. That was a good one. Samantha Kinison and actual Sam Kinison appears as her husband.
Oh, it was about a year before.
Okay, and they argue, and he's like, it's our anniversary. I got us TV dinners and a bottle of liquor each. And they just like devolve into screaming at each other.
And he really loved it.
He
really
seemed
loved
like it. There's
yeah.
a couple other times, or at least one more time, if not two, where he just shows up kind of randomly. Like I feel like maybe the Super Bowl episode.
Yes,
he was just there.
He was in the background. He was there with Pauly
At least
Shore
that one,
and
yeah. At least that one. I think it was.
Nemec.
Oh, I have a note, girl.
Yes,
I have a whole little section about
I know,
the Super Bowl episode.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We got to get to My Left Foot of Fury. Was this season? Oh my god!
Wheelbarrow.
So imagine My Left Foot. Only he does karate. So it's Jim Carrey in a wheelbarrow
with Jean-Claude Van Damme
kicking the shit out of people with that one foot.
Oh, he's got his shoe off and he's just like, oh, it's too much.
Oh,
it's
my
like
God.
that movie is not funny. That movie is not funny. There's
that
nothing
funny.
about that fucking movie, but this is funny.
And now I thought I had a note last season for the first appearance of Wanda where she's not Wanda yet. She's the ugly girl in the Coyote ugly arm commercial or whatever. You put the fake arm.
Your, products,
but I already have. So they were already doing Wanda sketches already. That's what I'm saying. It's like I have a note about the first actual Wanda sketch where she's given. She shows up to the blind date where her friend has hooked her up with like the dude she likes, friend, which is Tommy Davidson, and they're like talking her up big. And when she comes in, the way he hops out of his chair, starts swinging at her, and like
she's like
yelling simultaneously, fucking kills me. And she's like, "You're so crazy,
You're so crazy.
I'm ready to go."
I said, "I'm ready to go."
I used to do this face and all of these
for
things
real?
at school. Oh, I got you.
I got you. What do you need? I got you.
And the one where she's a masseuse and poor Tommy Davidson getting his body all rubbed with his big ass feet.
Oh, he
all by
got
his
a
face.
pedicure.
He had red painted toenails. He was ready.
Got a pedicure. I rock your world.
And when the outtake we saw when she chases him around the table, she fucking pulls his little bikini panties down below his butt.
These two apparently did not. I saw that they did not really get along.
Oh, that's so he was
Probably
mad.
because like
he got
he
picked
kind
on.
of picked on him a
Looked
lot.
like he was kind of getting mad there.
Yeah. He was kind of getting picked on a lot, and he was also struggling with some substance issues. Tommy Davidson was.
When there was a comment he made during, I don't know if it was the bloopers episode, maybe when they were just talking on stage, and he makes some comment about like his mom wants to know why is he the one who's always getting beat with a sock or getting shit broke over his head, or
I mean, because
it
he's
was,
so
I think 'cause
spry.
so
spry
well, he
and
had
wiry.
the physicality, like
I know.
He
And
made
then
it
they went
funny.
on to do my mother's favorite movie of all time, Booty Call.
Is that really your mother's favorite?
I don't know if it's of all time, but she fucking loves
That's
that movie. She got it on
hilarious.
tape. She'll watch it any time.
And then the Wanda on the dating game, just the moment
When
where,
he comes
where Jim
around.
Carrey comes over with the spray and sprays her. He goes, "Hold on," and he sprays her teeth and wipes it with a little cloth. He's like, "That lipstick's been bothering me," and I felt like that was not scripted because
I
Jamie's
don't know.
face
Like,
was
it was
kind of like, "What the fuck? What did he just spray in my mouth?"
I feel like David Allen Grier did not know
Who was on the other side?
who was on the other side,
Their
or that she
faces
was
when
going
they
to look
come
like
around.
that. That's why he's just like laughing and daps him up and leaves.
Every time, yeah, because he's like all hugging Jim Carrey as he leaves, like, holy shit.
He's dying. I feel like he hadn't seen it or he didn't know
That's funny.
that that's what Jamie
But
Foxx
every
was gonna
time,
look like.
it's always Tommy Davidson who ends up with Wanda,
Yes.
and every time is like the first time he's ever seen this person,
Yep.
and he always just fucking
Yep.
the fucking.
I know the fight.
I think in this one she fucking he ends up finally passing out or something,
Or
and she
she
throws
just
him over her
throws him and
shoulder
takes him
and
off.
takes him off the
Yep.
stage.
Yep.
The old cast of Star Trek, The Really Last Voyage, and they have like walkers and a clapper on the
Yes.
ship.
He always did. Jim Carrey always did that good.
He does a great Kirk.
And David Allen Grier with the Spock.
Yes. And Kim Wayans being a whore with her saggy
Yes.
titties, still trying to come at Kirk like, let's go.
Oh shit.
And then they're really in their nursing home, they had a fucking pretend ship because the nurse comes at the end like
Right,
it's time
like,
to
it's
take you
time
back
to
to your
go on.
beds. And it's like, wow, that's a sweet
Yeah.
nursing home. I want to go
Right?
there.
I want to go there. That's where I want to be.
And this is the Cape Fear spoof with Jamie as Eddie Murphy and Keenen as Arsenio. And they do the cigar in the theater scene and like that fucking laugh or whatever, the teeth, and then the sitting outside his window.
Yeah, and then he's
dressed
gone.
up as Consuela.
And then he's gone. Oh yeah, he turns around with that.
And then he tries to do the riding under the limousine thing, but his butt is so big that he
Can't
can't
go
go limo
anywhere.
gets stuck.
Oh shit.
And Ghost 2, with
Yes.
Takia as Whoopi. Only now she can only hear
All the
Sammy
time.
Davis Jr.
Shaboing, boing,
Yeah, that's his
boing.
ditto. So he takes her to see his wife, and she doesn't believe because he doesn't say "I love you," and he's like, "Tell her shaboing, boing, boing," and he's like, "Oh my God, it's really him!" And then he sings "Mr. Bojangles."
Let me tell you, kid.
George and Barbara Bush take the Japanese PM to Mama's diner, and he
Yes.
throws up in his lap because
Yep.
that was a thing.
Because that was the thing.
The last man on earth being Tommy Davidson, and the women are so excited when they find him, and all they want him to do is chores. I got trash for you to take out. I got a car that needs fixed. And at the end, they have him in sequin pasties and a sequin bikini,
Yes.
and they have him dancing
Yep.
up on the bar.
Yep.
And this is the one that, again, it did not play, I don't think, during the season, but Tupac concert.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie's his manager, and Tommy is there, and Tupac's there trying to play his show, and they're like, "We don't know, who are you?
Who are you? Yeah.
And, they get their ass kicked, whatever. The Tommy Davidson Black or White parody also did not come
Yes.
up, and we forgot to watch that before. He did
Yeah,
a
we
Michael
should've.
Jackson Black or White and the Crystal Waters from Kim Wayans. Which I believe Crystal Waters was very upset about.
Oh, really?
That she got her feelings hurt.
Well, because
her
it's
song-
mindless. So very mindless.
So for memorable moments on stage, I have Sam Kinison closes episode 7 and the cast all do his yell.
Yes.
Super Bowl Live episode. So here I have
Right.
a separate section for the Super Bowl Live.
Right. It was brought to you by Doritos.
Yes. And they have the Homeboy Shopping Network selling the players' wallets, uniforms, Super Bowl
Yes.
rings, steroids,
And they
etc.
had 2 different scripts depending on who was up.
Oh, for
at the
who was
halftime.
in the
They
Super
had the
Bowl?
halftime counter. I feel like this was at a time when they weren't doing like halftime shows.
So you flip to the Fox
so you
to
would flip
watch the
to
halftime
whatever,
show?
and they would you would just
Maybe.
watch whatever. And they did it live, did they not?
Yeah, and then Men on Football.
Yes.
2
Men on
snaps up
Football.
and your backfield in motion.
And this was the one. There was a couple of jokes where something got cut, and it was the Richard Gere joke,
Right.
And I was like, "Ooh!" I was watching. I was like, "Ooh, something got cut," and I'm surprised it wasn't that Oilers versus the Packers joke.
I know they left a lot of shit in for what they
I
decided
was like,
to
"Holy
take out.
shit!" Well, apparently that was like credited with putting that out there into the world. Was that,
Right.
Like,
That's where we all
everybody
heard it
knew
from.
about the gerbil thing. After
Well, we can't
that.
blame them for the Marilyn Manson rumor. So
Nope,
how'd that one
was
spread?
not there. We did that all on our own,
Right. And then Color Me Bad performed for
Yes.
that one.
And
Right? No, the first guy, the main guy's not.
well, he wasn't then.
Or he wasn't then.
Have you seen him
I
lately?
have not seen him lately.
Well.
But yeah, they want to sex you up. You guys remember being 11 years old and singing,
I wanna sex you up all night, make you love until we drown.
Oh,
That's
we sang it all the time.
disgusting. And they had all like Pauly Shore was
Oh
there.
yeah, Pauly Shore, Blair Underwood, Corky Nemec, and that actor who looks like Anthony Kiedis,
I
but
wrote
it's not
that same
Anthony
shit.
Kiedis.
I was like, oh wait. I was like, oh shit.
All
Anthony
they
Kiedis.
said it, they were
Oh,
like
wait,
so
that's
and
just
so
the
from
guy that
Drexel's
looks like-
class, and I was like, oh fuck, I
That's
forgot
just the guy-
Drexel's
Oh,
class
fuck, was
existed. That was your
Howard
dad.
Husband? Oh, fucking Dabney Coleman.
That was Head in the Class was the other one.
That's right. That's right. Drexel's class was my dad.
Yeah, I think that was Dabney Coleman. And at the end of the season, Damon says goodbye. He gets a hug and a kiss from Keenen.
Right.
He's off to pursue his film career. And at
Right.
this point, Last Boy Scout was already out. So I'm not, and so was Earth Girls Are Easy.
Right.
That
but
was
wasn't
pre
very-
In Living Color,
yeah.
right? So I don't know what was the next movie he was moving on to that he left the show.
I
But
don't know. Well, apparently it didn't go super hot because he came right back.
he
to
started guesting. So musical performances, I have Leaders of the New School, Nice and Smooth, Big Daddy Kane, Queen Latifah comes back, A
Yes.
Tribe Called Quest, Color Me Bad, Eric B. and Rakim, Shabba Ranks and Maxi Priest, Black Sheep, Criss Cross'll Make Ya Jump, Jump, and they all had even the cast was like
Yes.
wearing their jackets backwards.
Because Inside Out is wiggity 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 whack.
Jodeci, Heavy D and the Boys with Tupac and Flava Flav,
Yes,
and
Flava
MC
Flav was there a few
Light.
times.
Yeah, he was
MC
just kind
Light I
of.
watched. Queen Latifah I watched.
Oh, yeah.
Color Me Bad I watched just because.
I watched Crisscross. I watched a bunch of them.
yeah. I
Or at
watched a
least
few.
I at least watched like the
Like,
first
yeah.
minute or
Right,
whatever
right.
of the thing. And now for parodies, I should have put this before musical guests. This
That's
is kind of
all right.
long.
That's
So
all right.
product and commercial parodies. Jamie Foxx as Prince for butt out jeans. Everything they're cracked up to be. Keenen as Jesse Jackson selling a children's book for black children's books for black children like Horton Here's a Hoe.
That's
The
right.
Crackhead in the Hat. The Grinch Who Stole My Stereo. And Green Eggs and the Government Cheese.
Government cheese.
This was the Coyote Ugly Escape Kit. So
Yes.
that's where I have the note.
Okay,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
appearance of Wanda.
Was
So
that.
it was in the same season, but before that sketch.
It was that fake arm that you could put under your date.
Minute Maid, a drink for astronauts that tastes like a woman.
And I was like, so what, Tang?
And I said, you didn't call it Poontang? Come on now.
Moontang?
Moontang? Poontang?
Maybe the censors.
Missed opportunity?
I mean, it was actually called Tang.
right.
that
Cosby
was the
Condoms with Jamie Foxx as Bill Cosby.
Oh, no.
Before you dip your spoon in the pudding, wear Cosby condoms.
Oh.
Masculine hygiene, that touching commercial of Tommy Davidson, his son, talking
Oh,
about
right, like
testy
the
shields because your balls get
freshness,
stinky while you're playing
right?
baseball.
You're like, do you smell that pine tar?
Yes, it was like pine tar, English leather. It was all these manly
smells.
scents. Sally Struthers stealing food from the poor.
Oh my! I've been here for 2 weeks and they're still starving.
The instant coffee Fatal Attraction commercial, which was that was one of those blooper ones where so Jim Carrey is having a party. He goes up to the neighbor's house to get some. Oh, we were at the end of this party and I forgot I'm out of coffee. And it's Kelly Coffield and she's like, "Oh, let me make you some Tester's Choice." And that's the one in the blooper reel where they're laying on the knees like, "Oh, it's so
yeah.
warm and creamy,"
Hot
and he
and
keeps
creamy.
laughing. But she
like I like
when
it.
he finally goes to leave and take the coffee back to his party, she shows up all insane,
of
like
course.
you just wanted me for my coffee, and she's like in his bathtub and all this different shit. Club Ozone tanning with Kathy Lee Gifford.
That's right.
The Richard Simmons Shed a Bed diet program where they made Kim this like 600-pound woman.
Yes.
and her husband's
Husband was
trapped under their
underneath.
arms.
I thought he left me.
Players Club with Jim as Telly Savalas beating people with a club.
I want a players club.
Yes.
I want a players club.
Crazy Polly Dent where she hangs by her teeth and then she gets her fucking head
torn
ripped off
off.
by the car.
Oh no, Granny.
And Silicone, the breasts you can play with in Bouncy, Meaty, and Grandma.
Yikes.
Oh, and
Yikes.
before we get into season 4, it is time for another break.
Let's do
We'll
it.
be right back.
All right, Paul. So I think it's time we, made a trailer.
Do we have to?
Like, people keep asking, so we're gonna deliver.
Well, what are we supposed to do in this damn trailer?
You know, we're just gonna talk about shit we do here. We theme our months, right? Like, what do we?
I mean, I know we've done stuff like musicals and animation month and creature features, all sorts of stuff, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's something kind of like that. That I'm probably gonna sit there and tell people, we're on all social medias. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's all under Flicks and Friends podcast.
Yeah, I guess so, if they're not tired of hearing that by now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that'll work. Should we press record?
Yeah, let's press record right now.
And we're back.
We are back.
And I think we can finish 4 and 5.
5 won't
hopefully.
take but a minute.
I have more notes than you
Oh,
think.
all right,
But
yeah,
not
'cause-
but not to the level that
Not
I
to
have
the
these
extent.
notes. No.
Yeah, no.
So now season 4 cast changes is Damon Wayans is now guest only.
Yes.
And Marlon Wayans and Alexandra Wentworth have joined the
Yes.
cast.
Yes.
So
And
anything-
Marlon Wayans, like, he comes out, he looks like a baby.
Oh yeah.
Just a
And
tiny
I think we looked it up
little
and he was
baby.
23.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
first you were like,
I was like, he was
17.
17, and I'm like, no, that's how old
No.
he was when the show started.
Right,
he was 23 when he came
the
on.
youngest. I feel like he's the youngest
And
of
is
the
he not the
Wayans.
one who's like a great trans ally because his
Yes.
kid is trans?
Yes.
And like people try to come at him on Twitter, and he's
Right.
like, I'm a fucking comedian. Like I'm
Yeah,
about to
like,
fucking
I'm
roast you
gonna-
into
and
the
he
ground,
does.
and he does.
And he fucking does.
I
and it's
fucking love
pretty
Marlon
great.
Wayans. I love all the Wayanses.
Well, of course I
honestly.
do. I'm here for the Wayanses at all times.
Of course. So, fave character sketches this season. A lot of this is about the LA riots.
Yes.
Because that is when this happened, was I guess between the season breaks was the Rodney King, Reginald
Right.
Denny.
And they filmed in LA, so this
Right.
was in their backyard at the time.
And this was the cringiest, hardest to watch Fire Marshal Bill. Because they're reopening a market after the LA riots.
Yeah.
And Fire Marshal Bill comes in saying some very questionable
Yes.
things.
Yes.
About, oh, I heard you guys don't like firemen and all this kind
Right.
of shit. And it's like,
No one ever made a song called Fuck the Fire Department.
exactly. I'm like, you ain't the cops, Fire Marshal Bill. Nobody cares. Everybody likes the
That's
fire
not
department.
what it's about. And were there not like several sketches where where there was like the Reginald Denny and Oh, you
so
have that?
right after Fire Marshal Bill goes to this store and starts a riot.
Right.
Because he's talking about how, there's going to be another riot, but he's the one who fucking starts the riot.
Of course.
David Allen Grier is Rodney King. Jim Carrey
Yes.
is Reginald Denny, doing a public service announcement to stay in your car.
Yes, do not get out of the car. We got out of the car, and look what happened to us.
And they're so scared. Reginald Denny's like holding on to Rodney King the whole time.
Yes.
Like,
it was terrible.
Benita Boutrell surrounded by looters.
Yes. I love it when she
Yeah.
does the tiny, tiny.
I ain't want to gossip, so you didn't hear from me. And she,
Right.
of course, they come looking for Miss Jenkins.
Don't nobody say nothing bad about Miss Jenkins.
And this is the one where she's like, but don't turn your back on her.
Yes. She'll rob you blind.
Yep. The Go On Girl
Yes.
with Kelly as Barbara Bush and
Oh,
Alexandra
my
as a
God.
young Hillary Clinton. Yes. And it ends up Hillary strips down to her denim bra and
Yep.
Daisy Dukes in her smoke, and Barbara Bush unveils her hot body.
Right. I'm not even fat. I'm
And
tired
they-
of being
they all
George's
fuck
mother.
off to Chippendales
Yep.
at the end
They
of the
all
episode.
went off to Chippendales. What could have been?
What could have been, you guys, if only
could
Barbara
have-
Bush and Hillary Clinton had thrown off their shackles and gone to Chippendales in 1993.
We may not be in this mess.
Exactly. This is the Wanda and Basic Instinct.
Oh God, with you can almost like smell or see the smell when she opens up those legs to
he
show
said-
him what he's been missing.
Well, first when he sees her, he says, "Who put a wig on Charles Barkley?" And then when she opens her leg, he says, "I have seen the face of Satan himself." And he rips off the headboard to get
Yes,
away because he's tied up to the
he
headboard.
gets fucking stuck in the doorway.
I was gonna rock his world too.
I know.
And then she meets her match in the next episode in Luther,
Oh,
which
God,
is
little
Marlon doing
Wayans.
his crazy face.
And
And I can't believe they didn't do this again. I
Look
think
me
this
in
was
the
the
eye.
only one.
Look me
And he's
in the
off to
eye.
the side, which nope, over here.
Right, because like of course
And she's like,
Luther
"Ugh,
shows
he's
up."
too ugly.
Right. They're like,
She
She
does
had
not know she's
standards.
ugly. Yeah.
oh no, she thinks she's the most beautiful creature.
And he's like, "But I love you." So she's like, she leaves him her card and a big ass high heel shoe, and he's all
She
Wanderella.
throws that gigantic
Big
fucking
ass high,
pump on
size
the
13
table.
pump.
Oh my God.
And then I don't think we ever get a follow up to Luther.
Nope, I
It
don't
moves
think
on
Luther
from
ever
that.
shows up again.
And then Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh,
Played by Jim. Oh my God. And he's doing it so much like he has the top hat and the suit and the little
with
thing.
the little wig.
I have crossed oceans of time to be with you.
Oh, you so crazy. You could have just called. And so she claps on the lights. He's like all romancing
on.
her. And he
Clap on.
By the beard of Beelzebub. And he fucking claps it off. And she has a Murphy coffin because
Yes,
one thing we forgot to
I
mention
got
about
you.
Wanda is she got you. And
Whatever
in her bag,
you need, she got you.
she got everything. She at one point she got like heart paddles. She's
Yeah.
got everything
I'm
you're
ret
gonna
to
need.
go.
She ready to go. And he's like he convinces her to have sex in the sunlight so that he turns to ash.
I need the windows open.
Done burn another one up, girl.
She calls her friend.
This has happened before.
Yes.
And then En Vogue is in town. And I don't even think they're the musical guest on the show. It's just like the entire group of En
Just
Vogue
En
is in a
Vogue
sketch.
Showed up.
And she's outside their window waiting of their hotel. She used to be their choreographer, but now she wants to sing with them. And this is, I swear to God, this is probably the first time I ever heard somebody say scramps.
Scrimps.
She's
Yes.
like, "Oh, you guys think you're all fancy now eating your scramps?" And then they sing Never Gonna Get It. She convinces them to sing Never Gonna Get It with her. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it.
I fucking died every time.
And don't En Vogue, they got that song, that Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here you go.
They were probably big in Living Color
Free
fans.
your mind. Yes.
And the rest will follow. I love En Vogue.
I do too. They were playing over at Yamava.
Oh, we should have done it. Jim as Jay Leno interviewing Sinead O'Connor, played by Kelly, and she
Fight
tears
the real enemy.
but she tears up a picture of Urkel because he's irritating. And then she mentions that she dated Arsenio Hall, which is that
like-
true? Did Sinead O'Connor date Arsenio Hall? Because he gets all pissed because he
Right,
fucking hates
because, well,
Arsenio.
Of course, because it's the rivalry.
Yes. But she did a great Sinead. She did it such a
Yes,
subtle
the
Irish
whole-
accent. She
and
had
you
that
know-
white long dress with the combat boots.
Yeah, the other person, this was like way back now, but I forgot to mention that Takia Crystal Keymah does like a really good whoopee.
Oh, that
A
yeah. Oh,
real
yeah. We talked
subtle-
about it but we didn't say how good Ghost too. But
yes,
she does a
but
great
she's like
whoopee.
she does whoopee a couple of times.
She does it
but
for
it's
comic
like,
relief sketches in the
It's
future.
like the voice and the mannerisms.
And they do like Sister Act 3, but it's like this isn't kosher, and it's like she's a rabbi now. That one was pretty funny.
So they flirted on the show.
Oh.
She was a guest.
Sinead and Arsenio.
Oh.
Yeah, they like flirted about spanking.
But
and
not.
stuff.
There's no official
No,
dating
not that
thing.
they were dating.
Later, Arsenio sued her for defamation.
Oh.
What?
Because she accused him of providing drugs to Prince.
Oh.
He tried to sue her for libel.
And did that all fall apart in Discovery or what?
I have Detective Head is now so he's back for a guest spot.
Yes.
And now instead of Keenen, this is where I really started to notice, wow, Keenen isn't doing shit because instead of Keenen as partner, they have Marlon as the rookie.
Yes.
Who gets him fucking shot all up and they have to amputate his hands and
more
feet.
like, what's left?
But he still ends it with like, spike me or
Right,
whatever.
yes,
He's gonna
he goes
throw him.
back to do all of the things that he was doing before.
And speaking of comic relief, Anton. So they used to do that thing, and this was a real thing on Comic Relief. If you guys remember this, it was what Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh God, who were the main Comic Relief people? But the stage would have boxes that were
all of the
stamped.
things, yes.
Billy Crystal, I think so.
Little Billy Crystal.
And they would be stamped Comic Relief. So she's up on
Yes.
stage doing the intro, and here comes Anton out of one of these boxes, stumbling
yes, he
out.
busts out of the box.
He's been living in. He brings on Shirley Dupree, played by Roxana Reese, and she fucking steals the show as the drunk lady.
Yes.
And comes out and sings her little heart out.
Yes.
Homie meets his son, so he gets a social worker brings his son, and he's in a
Of
little
course.
clown outfit,
Yep.
looks just like him.
Like, don't waste these people's time. This is your kid.
And he teaches them all about Whitey. Hush, little homie, don't say a word. And then when he finds out he ran away from his mom, he's really proud of him for like going against the system or whatever. And he gives him his very first bopping sock.
Yes.
And they bop each other instead of hugging. And then Men on Cooking. So Damon comes
Right.
back to
He
do Men on
comes out to
Cooking in
do
his
Men
little
on Cooking.
egg, fried egg
Yes.
and spatula hat.
Yes, I will have
I want it. I want it.
I will have it. It brought to you by the Dairy Queen. You scream, I scream. We all scream at the Dairy Queen.
Hey, remember how I said I need to get my computer charger when I went inside?
Oh, you didn't get that, did you?
Didn't do that. Just a second. My computer's just like. So anyway,
Men on Cooking brought to you by the Dairy Queen. He eats those little cocktail weenies. He just sucks it. It's brought to you with pigs in a blanket.
And they do Men on Fitness.
Yes.
Sponsored by the Mr. Gulp protein shake, the second highest source of protein around.
Tastes like the first one.
And I forgot to write the snap. I had 2 snaps up and wipe your mouse, but what was the snaps for Men
2
on
snaps.
Fitness?
I couldn't hear. That was the
That
one
was
I
when
could
you-
not hear it.
I
It
guess
was
I couldn't either,
It was
'cause I
2
didn't write
snaps
it.
and a pelvic thrust, but I could not hear what they fucking said. And because of where I was watching it, I couldn't have my sub titties.
The Make a Death Wish Charles Bronson parody, where he
my
beats up
God.
everybody to get the kids' wishes.
Apparently, that was one of the things that Fire Marshal Bill came from. Like, they were going to do that way before, like the
Okay.
Make a Death Wish Foundation, and Fire Marshal Bill was just a part of that, where whatever, and then he became his own character.
Jim as Richard Simmons selling deal-a-meal to a crash soccer team in the Alps, and they eat him.
Oh, well, yes.
But before that, he's like playing soccer with someone's decapitated
know, but,
head
like,
and like making jokes about thigh meat and
It like wasn't really high calorie butt meat.
high calorie butt meat.
All that great of an impression. I
No,
didn't feel
it
like
wasn't
it was because
really.
Richard Simmons wasn't like that.
No, I don't know. That was a weird. I don't know. Maybe there was an era where people
seemed
found
like
Richard
he
Simmons
was-
annoying, but we love Richard
Well, like
Simmons.
yes,
so
that
like
he was annoying, like, but that was part of his charm. But I'm talking about like in this one in the Shed-a-Bed, it was like he's being mean.
he's being mean, yeah, and he was
And
never
that's
mean.
not- he was never mean.
That was the opposite of what
Yeah.
he was. Yeah. The cops go to pull over Rodney King again. Only Rodney Dangerfield gets out of the car and tells ghetto jokes and fat wife jokes until they put him in their squad car.
course.
No respect.
Yeah,
No
take him away.
Vera DeMilo in Breasts of Fury with the sumo diaper and the throwing star pasties.
I got those throwing stars. I'm going to do it.
And Jim as Mr. Rogers beating people up in the video store and no one believes them because it's
why
Mr.
would Mr.
Rogers.
Rogers do that? That's pretty funny.
And then do you have any others? 'Cause I have product commercials.
No,
next.
go ahead.
Kelly as Woody Allen telling you
That
to
was
save
so
Asian
good.
girls or date one. It's an
Yes.
investment in your future.
Yes.
She was a great Woody Allen.
She really was. That's what
It
I'm
was so
saying.
funny.
Like, some of her stuff, she was pretty underrated.
I love
She
Kelly.
was there throughout the whole thing, but like
Yeah. Everything but the last season. Yeah. She was there all
everything
through
that
4.
she did was fucking hilarious.
Good. Yeah. Alexandra as Cher and Jim Carrey as Lori Davies. Do you guys remember this?
I
Selling the
didn't
Lori
until I
Davies
saw
hair
it.
care system.
And then I was like, memory unlocked.
And then the big secret is that having an ugly friend makes you more beautiful.
Right? This
So
shit
just
don't
stand
work.
next to
I
someone
just need
ugly.
you- And the faces Jim Carrey is making under that fat suit.
He's just like he's making 5 chins in that fat suit. Jim as George Hamilton, who is now so
the
tan
luggage.
he's luggage that comes with matching belts, and it says, "Know him? I beat my kids with him."
Yes.
Anonymous Express by Chris Rock, played by Sean, and this is where you get
Yes,
the
with the
giant
teeth.
teeth, and Garrett Morris, played by Jamie, because nobody
Right.
remembers Chris Rock and Garrett Morris from SNL at that time, I guess, was the big joke. So Anonymous Express. Wheezy's Cough Drops with Louise Jefferson.
Wheezy's.
The Thigh Master with Kelly as Suzanne, where she's crushing cans between her
Yes.
legs, juicing watermelons, and then her husband comes in and his head is all flattened. That was fucking hilarious. And we get the Joe Jackson Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Now you can beat my kids too. And then for memorable moments, I have the Keenen coming out episode 1 looking like
Right.
Shaft or an assassin.
Yes.
But fly as hell and looking pissed.
I know.
He looked mad.
There was when he left, after he decided to leave, it was the Christmas episode.
And Jamie Foxx sings This Christmas on
But
stage.
if you look behind Kim and David Allen Grier and Tommy Davidson, they all have sunglasses on, and they like it's Christmas, and it's like
It's a
whatever.
statement.
But everybody is like real kind of sour face, and that was because he had just left. And that was the other thing. A thing with the sunglasses is that there was a riff for a minute there with Jim Carrey. Because that's where the ass talking thing came
right.
from.
Yeah. Talk about that.
The ass talking thing from Ace Ventura came from Jim Carrey was pissed that a sketch of his got cut. And when he went to the table read for something else, he was still upset about it. So when he was supposed to read the lines, he got up and did that ass talking thing right in Keenen Ivory Wayans' face.
Yikes.
And that's where that came from.
Yeah.
But there was also a riff probably stemming out of that or during that or whatever. But you'll notice that anytime Jim Carrey was in a scene with a Wayans, he's wearing sunglasses.
Oh, I did not notice that.
And they are wearing sunglasses like
Carrie was one.
Interesting.
he started it, and then they started firing back with every time they were in a sketch with
I
him.
wonder what the time
Yeah, I'm not-
was this. I wonder when the network was trying to push him to be a bigger star.
Well, yeah, they were. And like he, and also Tommy Davidson too, once the Wayans left, kind of felt a sense of freedom because they felt, I mean, like Jim Carrey was getting all kinds of shit,
Right.
but like being able to do what he wanted to do. And Tommy Davidson felt kind of like that the Wayans were getting to do things over him
Right.
when he was like, well, I've been here since the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
Why is Marlon coming on here and getting to do all kinds of shit? So,
Honestly, Marlon didn't do that much though.
I mean, he
wasn't
really
in a
didn't.
ton
He
of
did that
sketches.
fucking Mr. Ugly Man, the Jabba. I died.
Yeah.
But they felt a lot freer after they left that they could take chances and do things that they maybe wanted to do. But anytime that you see them wearing sunglasses, it was during feud times, I guess, with Jim Carrey and the Wayans.
So my last note for memorable moments is Super Dave Osborne.
Yes, like actual
We
Super
loved
Dave.
fucking
Yes,
Super Dave Osborne. So if you don't know what
yes.
Super Dave is, I mean, he's Evil Knievel, but bad at it.
Right.
He was the comedy Evil Knievel.
He was the comedic. Yeah, that
So
was like
if-
his shtick.
In this, if he gets the target, he gets a date with a fly girl, and of course he misses the target and
Of
gets
course,
all fucked up,
of
and they drop a
course.
turntable on him. And it's all this, but
Absolutely.
I fucking love Super Dave.
He was doing the turntables up on that
Yes,
whatever, but he's just like mashing his
Yeah.
hands on the records.
It was a genuine Saskatchewan. Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. And then I have musical performances by Redman, Gangstar with Nice and Smooth, Adore, Grand Poobah, Rex and Effect with Teddy Riley, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mary J. Blige.
Yes, I watched that one
Jamie
too.
Foxx was a musical guest. Diggable Planets, Father MC, Another Bad Creation. And I'm wondering, were they doing repeats or that was just they came back?
Did they come back to do At the Playground?
Arrested Development, Naughty by Nature.
Oh my God, I did watch that one too. I was like, is that Mr. Wendell himself?
Heavy D and the Boys, Prince Marky D and the Soul Convention, The Youngstas, Showbiz, and AG with Drez, Onyx,
Slam! Da, 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 da. I watched that
Let
one
the
too.
Boys be boys.
And I feel like, was this the Heavy D performance where he's like dressed all in black?
Oh, maybe. Was that another
Well,
message?
that was
and the Far
wasn't
Side was the last one.
No, that wasn't it wasn't a message. It was just that Heavy D and the Boys were not supposed to perform that night. It was supposed to be Tupac.
Oh, and he got
arrested shortly before. I don't know. I don't remember what the story was that happened, but it wasn't supposed to be Heavy D and the Boys. It was actually supposed to be Tupac. that
Gotcha.
night. Whatever night that was, that they're wearing black.
And I guess I don't have I did the products commercials for the season already. Do you have anything else for season 4?
No.
So here's what I got for season 5. New intro song, new visuals, and all the Wayans are gone.
Everybody's gone. For
Chris
this
Rock
one,
is now an ongoing guest star.
right. He has,
But he
come
just
back.
does that one character.
Just Cheap Pete.
Just Cheap Pete.
Just Cheap Pete.
So now we've got Jim, Tommy, Dag, Jamie, Takia, Alexandra. Now adding Anne-Marie Johnson, Jay Leggett, Reggie McFadden, Carol Rosenthal, and Mark Wilmore.
Who had come up before in season 4 a couple of times.
Okay,
Mark
yeah,
Wilmore
he was in some background stuff. So by the
Right.
5th and final season, none of the Wayans family
No.
had any involvement in
Nope.
this. So I was like, girl, do we even need to
I
watch
know.
this season? And she's like, not really.
I fell off.
But then when I started looking up some best of lists and stuff, I was like, wait a minute, some people really liked
Right.
parts of this season. So
There was some that I do remember.
it had an increasing, this is per the wiki thing, an increasing reliance on celebrity cameos and guest appearances, including Nick Bakay, who played the host of the Dirty Dozens game show,
Okay.
Barry Bonds, James Brown, Rodney Dangerfield,
I
Bret
watched
Hart,
that James Brown one.
Sherman Hemsley, Biz Marquis, Peter Marshall, Ed O'Neill, Chris Rock, Macho Man Randy Savage,
Wow.
Tupac, and players from the NBA. Kelly Coffield, who prior to Alexandra Wentworth's arrival in the 4th season was the lone white female cast member left at the end of the 4th season.
Right.
And then, let's see. Oh, so Jim Carrey, David Allen Grier, Tommy Davidson, Takia Crystal Keymah, and Fly Girl Deidre Lang were the only cast members that
original
went
cast
from
members.
one
And
all the way to the end.
I almost wonder because in the beginning, when they started this whole thing, when the original cast was the original cast, all of the people that we've mentioned that were on through the entire run of the series signed 5-year contracts.
Okay.
So I almost
So they
wonder
just
if
had
that's
to be
why,
there.
if they had to fulfill
Well, because
those
they said
contracts.
Jim kept missing more and more because of movie stuff, and
Right.
Tommy was missing for undisclosed reasons. So you
Well,
said
that
there was some addiction
he
issues
went away.
or something.
Well, when he did, I guess Keenen Ivory Wayans told him, I don't know why I have to say like all 3 of his fucking names every single time.
Keenen told him.
Keenen told him, like, you gotta get this shit fixed
Yeah.
and cleaned up and whatever. And when he went to rehab, I guess Keenen held his spot and also continued to pay him.
Oh, that's cool.
And there was also one of the writers whose names I did not write down, and I should have. One of his children had cancer.
Oh.
And Keenen did the same for him, like held
Kept
his
paying
spot
him.
and kept paying him
Nice.
while he dealt with all of that.
What a good guy.
What a good guy. To some, I don't know if he was. I
Right.
don't know if Kim
Not
Coles
everybody
at
loved
the
him, I
time would have
guess.
thought, because I think it ended kind of badly with them, and they end up. I guess they're cool now, but they were not
Right.
at the time when she left.
So here's what I have. So I ended up going back and scrolling through season 5 just because I had seen some things on the top 10 list, and there was some listeners who had suggested some things that I hadn't seen yet, and it turned out it was because they were in the 5th season.
Okay.
So number 1, Jim Carrey doing Snow,
Yes.
the imposter
Which
video.
we watched that earlier.
And every time when they do the fast talking and
He's
he
just
goes, Ah. Sweet Tooth Jones. Do you remember this?
Yes,
Tommy
yes,
Davidson as
uh-huh.
this self-defense instructor that only knows movie fight moves. And
Oh,
he's got
I thought it was. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Tooth. Or
No.
the Truth.
Sweet Tooth Jones.
That
He had
was-
the,
yes,
he
yes,
was like
yes, yes.
kind of bald, but a huge afro. So
Yes,
like he had like
yes,
the way
yes,
back
yes,
hairline,
yes,
and he would come in, and Alexandra Wentworth and I think Mark Wilmore were like his
Yes.
little henchmen. They would do a little
Yes,
dance.
it
and
was
he had
like
those
the
flared
Mod
pants.
Squad.
And he would do it, ha ha, and
Yes.
the people were like, "What? These are movie moves.
Right,
Like you're not even hitting
gonna
them,
hit anybody with that.
right?"
Basically,
Wanda is now pregnant.
they made this whole storyline about Wanda being pregnant and looking for like the father of this child.
There
and
was like a whole ongoing series.
the things that I heard about it was like it wasn't like that for her before. Like she was just ultra confident, very
Right.
socially awkward and
Yeah.
ugly without knowing it.
Right.
And then this made her like
It was
Maury.
strange. It was
made
strange.
Maury.
Yeah. And so
We want
she's like,
Maury.
when she gives birth, Tommy Davidson says, "Oh my God, it's the face of Satan. I need a priest and some holy water."
Again.
And she just wants a strawberry daiquiri and some scramps for the pain. And Tommy has her hike the baby to him across the room, like when she, because he doesn't want to get close to her pussy, so she just has to hike it to him.
I remember.
And the nurse is like, "Oh, it's alive. It looks just like
It's
you."
alive.
And she tells it, "I'm gonna rock your cradle, baby."
Rock your cradle.
The Dirty Dozens game show. Now, this was in almost every single episode of season 5, and this was the Yo Mama jokes. The whole game show was Yo Mama jokes, and I fucking swear we did all of these. And this
Of
is where
course.
Ed O'Neill shows up as the champion of Dirty Dozens. He comes out in his
I
Barca
remember
lounger
this now.
carried by 4 fly girls.
Yes.
And they set him down, and Jamie Foxx has to get him to get out of his Barca lounger to come at him from the Your Mama jokes. And they're your standard.
Of course.
All of them. Your mama's so ugly. Your mama's so fat. Your mama's so stank. Whatever. They're all the ones you said on the fucking
Right.
playground when you were 11 years old.
Your mama's so fat when she jumped up in the air, she got stuck.
Or there was your mama plays hopscotch like this. California, New York, whatever is like stomping on the map. So yeah, there was that one. So Dirty Dozens was a good one just because it had all the best Yo Mama jokes.
Right.
The ballpark breast implants plump when you cook them. And if you want to take them out, you just eat them thoroughly.
What do you do? Throw them in a saucepan?
There was a bunch of Ike Turner sketches, and there was Ike Turner and Hooch, played by David Allen Grier. And there was
almost fell out of my chair.
all these Ike related ones. Honeymooners 93.
That I remember.
Which was the new guy, the big guy, as
Leggett.
Ralph, and then James Carrey. That's the first
I
time
know
said
it wasn't
that.
like that from like since season 1.
Is Norton, and so Ralph says things like, so it's still black and white.
Right.
They're dressed exactly the same, but Ralph says things like, "One of these days, bang, zoom, smack it up, flip it up, rub it down. Oh no! Alice has jungle fever. Norton teaches Ralph to dance. Cabbage Patch, Running Man.
Yes.
And he says things like, "The next time I'm going to see you, I'm going to bust a cap in your ass. I was moving like Heavy D." And Alice is like, "More like Heavy Double D.
Oh,
Baby, you're the dopest." It was all like that type of...
baby, you're the dopest.
And this is Chris Rock as Cheap Pete. How much for Hubba Bubba? How much gum can I get for that? 1 gum.
1 gum.
How about I give you 68 cents and you let me suck out all the bubbles? How about I give you 10 cents and you give me the good news? How about I give you 5 cents and you give me the horoscope? How about I give you 15 cents and you read me one of those nasty letters? How about I give you 68 cents and you let me fill a bun with relish? Okay, if you leave my store. $2.79. Good Lord, that's a lot of money for a booger. Oh, because the lady comes in to buy tissues. And he tells her $2.79. Good Lord, that's a lot of money for a booger. How about 15 cents? She could wipe her nose on your sleeve. There's a bunch of those. Funky Finger Productions. Chris Rock again, same, like he
Right,
kind of
it's
does
just-
the same thing. East Hollywood Squares with the actual Gary Coleman.
Yes.
In a square.
Yes, they had done that before.
They did a few
done
Hollywood
couple,
squares,
like
yeah.
East Hollywood Squares, I feel like.
And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a very similar sketch to Tupac, which when I looked it up, it said the Tupac one was in season 3, but I don't think it was. I think the Tupac one was in season 5.
It might have
because
been.
all the other sketches
Well,
where
unless
Jamie
it
and
was
Tommy
from
are the
before.
bodyguards.
Right.
So unless they did that once in season 3 and then didn't
I
bring
don't
it
know.
back till season 5, it was the same
That's a
sketch
possibility.
over and over.
Yeah, because it was the same characters. That was one of the
Yeah.
recurring characters, was that they didn't know who the fuck they were dealing with.
Yeah, it was just
ever.
some celebrity would show up.
Right.
And then I have musical performances: Guru with Zendaya and Davenport, Leaders of the New School, Lords of the Underground, Us 3, Patra with Lynn Collins, Simple E, Eazy-E with Dresta and BG Knockout.
Wow.
Souls of Mischief, Boss, Michelle Ndeglicello.
Michelle Ndeglicello.
And then honorable mentions I have now. So this is for all seasons.
Okay.
Oswald Bates.
Yes.
Which I only didn't take notes on because I cannot type that fast.
When fucking Barbara Bush came in and understood what he was saying.
And she started, you
He was like,
reciprocate the tampon to the, I can't even, none of it makes sense.
Douche.
Yes.
Or should I say Summer's Eve?
Oh my God. Oswald Bates was a good one, especially the Barbara Bush one and the Silence of the Lambs
Allow
ones.
me to clitify.
And both of those were with Kelly. So Kelly is Barbara
Yes.
Bush or Kelly is Clarice Starling was great in both.
She was so good.
She was
as
such a
little
great
Jodie
Clarice.
Foster. And fucking Jim Carrey is the doctor, the fucking guy at the
Oh my
that
God.
asshole.
Yes, he did it so
When
well.
he does that turnaround, I was dying.
He gives it a little flair.
Oh my God.
Lil Magic. I want to give a
Lil
shout out to
Magic.
Lil Magic,
Yes,
which was
Little
Kim
Magic.
as a
Miss
child
Mom
star.
Bright, 1987. See?
And David Allen Greer as her mama.
Yes.
Cephas
Now we
and
can get your
Riccia
other
have-
breast implant.
Oh my God. Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Oh God. Who else? Just the ones, the Hour
Anything
of Power. I
standing
thought that
out?
one was funny. Any of the times that Jim Carrey came through and did like Bush or Ross Perot.
Yes, yeah.
That was always funny. The Broadway sketch, that David Allen Greer thing.
Broadway. I wish they would have let him finish that fucking sketch
I want to
instead of
see it
sending
now,
chickens
Mr.
out there.
Greer. I want to see it now.
And then I copied and pasted just a little thing about crossovers that I found in that wiki.
All right.
So at the 2006 BET Awards, Damon Wayans played a character very reminiscent to Blaine Edwards.
Okay. He also did. That was one of the things they did growing up.
Okay.
They had different names, but I feel like Damon and Keenen did like a men on film, or like those two types of characters.
Okay. Damon, Jim, and David all reprised some of their characters when they appeared on Saturday Night Live as guests.
Yes.
So Damon did Anton Jackson,
Yes.
and he did Blaine Edwards,
Yes.
and David Allen Greer made a surprise on-set appearance as Antoine. And then Grier hosted SNL, but he didn't do any of his characters. Then Jim auditioned to be... Oh, he auditioned way before this, back.
Yeah.
And he got... Charles Rocket got it instead of him.
Oh, well, Damon Wayans
Earth Girls
was
Are
on,
Easy.
Was on Saturday Night
Right.
Live briefly.
And then it says... Wait, Carrey auditioned for season 11, but backed out after seeing a man threatening to jump from 30 Rockefeller Center because of the stress of SNL. And so he got worried that the stress would like make him want to die. So he just didn't finish
He just didn't
doing
go
that.
through with it.
In the 21st season of SNL, he hosted and he impersonated Fire Marshal Bill in the monologue. Jamie Foxx did Wanda in the 2009 BET Awards. In 1997, 3 Fly Girls appeared in Muppets Tonight. In Liar Liar, Jim did Fire Marshal Bill as a background character.
Yes.
And in 2001, an episode of SNL hosted by J-Lo included a sketch where she reunited with the Fly Girls, played by Rachel Dratch, Jerry Minor, and Tracy Morgan
Oh no!
as a Fly Girl.
Wow.
Yeah. So that I think is all
Yeah.
my notes on In Living Color.
I'm pretty sure like we kind of wrapped a lot of stuff in there, a little behind the scenes things. little
Yeah, if
things
you've
here
never
and
seen
there.
it, I mean, it's worth buying the DVDs, but you can get like
really is.
VHS quality on YouTube if that's fine
If
with you.
you want to just go watch some clips, if you want to go see some of the things that we're talking about,
Yeah, easily Googleable.
you could. They're easily Googleable. Googleable. Let me you Googleize.
So at
My
the last minute,
pontifications.
yes, at the last minute, I garnered us some messages and
Oh yes.
things for our 200th episode. So this is from Twitter. This is from the Crust Confidential, which I believe the name of their podcast is like the Krusty Boys podcast.
Oh,
or
Crusty
something.
Boys.
You guys were one of the first podcasts I connected with in my podcast journey, and you are some of my favorite people on here. Also, we did an In Living Color episode first, so after this, we are enemies. Enjoy this piece while it lasts. Sincerely yours, Fatback Supreme. And I replied with I don't think so. We don't play that.
So
From the Howdy Beans podcast, our little buddy Luke over in England. Congratulations, ladies, on 200 episodes. As you both know, I'm so incredibly proud of everything you do. I've been listening since your review of the Batman, and I still randomly shout French cut. You're both doing absolutely brilliantly, and I love you both. Here's to another 200.
Thank you.
From Diabolical Evil Schemes podcast, happy 200. We didn't get that show over here, but thanks to living in the future, I will be able to enjoy listening to your show about it. From Freaks and Geeks, we got a congratulations with a two snaps up gif. From Erico, we got congratulations. You guys do amazing and great work. Such a fun podcast. Cinematic Leap, that's awesome. 200 episodes, great effort. Dissect That Film, a huge congratulations on 200 episodes, ladies. Thank you for all of the entertainment you've brought me over the years, along with your friendship. I will never stop yelling from the mountaintop about how amazing you and your show are. Much love to all the Doom ladies. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
From the VHS Abyss, congratulations on your 200th episode with a gif of Bill Murray. Guess what? You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Better Call Daddy podcast. Congrats. Jane Nightshade. Men on Film was my absolute favorite. 2 snaps.
Same.
And Cinema Poison. Always been big fans of the Homeboy Shopping Network. So now let me go to our voicemail. I think we have at least 1, if not 2. Maybe 2. Let's see. Let me actually have the volume up this time when I start the message. Nope.
Hey, ladies, this is Nathan Teasy. I want to congratulate y'all on 200 episodes. Your show has been awesome. It's been great listening to you while I work and do other things, driving and whatnot. And here's the 200 more. Love that you're doing In Living Color as well. That was my favorite sketch comedy show growing up. It's probably my favorite sketch comedy show of all time. All right, well, talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
And I think we got another voicemail from Johnny.
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 Is it Johnny? Is it
Johnny? Are you here?
Hey, Nicole, Tessa. This is Johnny.
I
wanted to call and congratulate you ladies on the 200th episode. That is such an amazing achievement. Thank you for keeping us all doomed, and I wish you more wonderful episodes. Have a good one, ladies. Congrats again.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Johnny. Johnny, he loves us after all.
And then I don't know if did I already play? Yeah, okay, wait, I played that one last week, so hold on. We have text messages now.
Text messages.
All right, let's see.
We are beloved, Ed. We cannot help it.
There's some text here. Okay, from... Hey, ladies of Doom, congratulations on 200 episodes, something most podcasts never achieve. My wife passed away from cancer in October of 2023, and I discovered you guys shortly after. It is easy to say that your incredibly funny and informative show helped keep my mind from turning to absolute jelly in a time I needed it most. Thanks for great content and lots of laughs, and keep it going, and I'll keep listening. Later, Doomers. John from the Pint.
Wow.
I know, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad we could help you in even a very small way, but oh my God, that's so terrible. Right. I'm sorry, that's what happened. And then I think, oh wait, hold on. I think we got some replies on Discord. Let's see. What did somebody say? I posted a thing about... I know it's last minute. Okay, from Daniel Heinrad Collins. I love the show. It's hilarious and very fun to hear you all talk about a movie and see how horny each episode will become. Because he's been increasingly surprised that we found ways to talk about sex during the March of the Machines month. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys find a way every time.
You'd be surprised.
And then is that it? I think that might be it. If I missed your message, I'm so sorry. I think that was all of them. I'm like really quickly trying to go through the rest of the places.
Pretty wild, 200
Yes,
episodes.
it's crazy. Every time I tell someone, oh yeah, we have a podcast, and they're like, oh, how long have you been going? Oh, almost 4 years,
Right?
200 episodes.
June,
like,
it'll be 4 years.
Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
And we're still together. Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about Mr. and Mrs. Brooks.
Oh, yeah, that was in the later episodes.
It was in the beginning and later.
Oh, they brought it back. Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like they did.
The old couple that insults each other all the time.
My husband and I say that a lot. We still together. We also fist fight and try to set booby traps for each other. No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
And yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any other things that I'm forgetting? I think that's it. But
I'm sure there is.
Come
Get
at
back
us
if we come at us. You know what? Don't come at me.
702-720-DOOM, text message, voicemail, doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com.
We'll continue rocking your world.
Patreon.com/Doom Generation. We're on all the social media platforms, unfortunately.
We got you.
So yeah, we got you.
We got you.
Get
and
ready to go.
We're ready to go.
So until next time.
We'll talk to you next time.
Later, Doomers.